month. And of course that means it is of course the live stream, which again, for those of you who are new, thanks to a lot of people waiting already in the chat, this is basically just a free-for-all, to be fair. I try not to have any structure intentionally, because what that does is it opens up the floor for you guys to ask me questions. Mainly, I know this sounds a bit cheesy and a bit cliche, but you will notice, in fact I need to get that out of the screen just so it gets it out of the way. A lot of the guys in the chat do already know each other, and it's just a great opportunity for that, for you guys to have a chat amongst yourselves. So I like the fact that I can throw the platform open for you. But of course, as always, you can ask me anything. I'll try and answer everything as well, obviously, as honestly as I can, or well, I always do anyway. But yeah, it's just nice to be able to speak to you all and have a chat again, as I say, because it seems to have been so long. All Spark Reviews is in. Nice to have you in. Yeah, it's good. As I say, I noticed there was quite a few of you waiting. Pete is in, of course he is, which is great. Who else is in? There's a few in, as I say. Luke is in as normal. Everybody's coming in. I'm just checking all of this. If Blockies is good at something, it's stealing my money first. Transformers then stores. Do you know what? Charles de Great, nice to see you. Paul Chock is in. Everybody's in. Joshua's in. I'll talk about Onslaught in a second. Of course I will. What I wanted to say is the comment on Blockies is brilliant. Yeah, the comment on Blockies is perfect. They are so good. They just seem to churn everything out really fast, which I think is great. Yeah, I've got multiple Blockies figures. I think their Devastator figure was incredibly, funny enough, he's right there. Just genius. And obviously we know that we're waiting for, I'm good, thank you, All Spark Reviews. We know that we're going to get a Bruticus from Hasbro, but we also know we're going to get a Bruticus from these guys. And for desk bots, for a bit of fun, for mucking around with, you can't beat these, to be fair, guys. Embarrassingly enough, I've still not built up my 86 Devastator. I only opened the 2 the other month, and the other 4 are still in the boxes. I need to get around to building them up, to be fair. It's because Big Easy's in. Good afternoon, it's good evening wherever you are. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night, etc. That's the thing I'm worst at, because I put everything on pre-order and I get early access to stuff, and then when mine arrives, it's still sitting in boxes. News on Titan Grimlock. What sort of news are you after? They're looking to get final form figure very soon. It is good night for me as well. Where are you all, Spark? Are you UK or not? They wanted to have the final, I suppose, paint job on him for Aaron's in, brilliant, for MCM, but there's another big Luke's not speaking of blockies. They've got some new blockies. They started speaking in my local town, and one of them is Shining are really good. Shining version 3 is very good. You won't be disappointed. He's absolutely incredible. Your videos help me. Good. I'm glad they all helped you out. What was you saying then? They want the full colour of Grimlock for, I believe, Simon's in as well. What was I going to say? For, what's it called? There's a big convention in South America. It's actually in Brazil, and that is in December. And that is the main reason, guys, why Bruticus wasn't shown at MCN. I know they sort of teased, maybe. I know they definitely said there'd be Onslaught there, which of course there was. Yeah, there was the blue Onslaught, and there was of course the other prototype, the first thing model. But yeah, the reason why they haven't done that is because, well, obviously this week we saw the new spotlight of the 3 Optimus Primes. I think at the moment there's just too many conventions, and they need to sort of, they're spreading everything too thinly. If you remember, you know, when we used to get like an entire, well, like SDCC did, to be fair, they gave us an entire wave. And of course that hindered everything for everything else, because MCM, that mean there was just 3. Is there going to be a Studio Series 10 at Jazz, a reissue in 26? Studio Series 10 Jazz, so do you mean from the 07 movie? Because there's been so many Jazzes. I presume because you're saying number 10, it's the 07 movie. And again, you'll have to pardon me, excuse me, that I don't remember every single release of every single figure. I think that they're going through the list, as I say, all the comments that people are putting on my videos, all the comments that people are leaving on the Instagrams, they are looking to reissue them. And as I say, you know, no joking, no, why couldn't you show the combined mode? Sorry if it's a stupid question. We couldn't show it because they were saving it for the I'll come back to you in a minute, Later King, because exactly that, because they're saving it for the next convention. So they kept the Spotlight Optimuses for the one that's just happened in Lucca, and they're saving the combined mode for, I can't think of the name of it, guys, but apparently it's South America's. It's in Brazil, and it's bigger than San Diego Comic-Con. Apparently it's huge, so they wanted something really special to share there. So that's basically just it. As I say, because they've obviously gone down to 3 waves a year now, Good morning. Crackles. Oh, yeah, of course, you're in Australia. Because they've only gone down to 3 waves, because that's what they said on the last 2710, didn't they? They said they're only going to do 3 waves now, so 3 lots throughout the year instead of the 4, because, of course, they used to have 4, and some of them were package refreshes and stuff like that, or just reboxed, etc. But they said that they were just going to go down to the 3. So by doing that, that means, of course, that there's not as much to show. For obvious reasons, which I think it makes more sense. I think it makes it better to budget that way, in honesty. I really do. I like the look of the Optimus 3 pack. It's weird because you go on the forum 1 minute and there's a load of hate for it, and then the next minute they're always loving it. Bruticus is fantastic. Honestly, all I can tell you is what I've seen, and I'm allowed to tell you what I've seen, which was just the combined mode. He was built up. You are all correct, and it is pretty obvious that it is a frame system that works really well. A lot of people asked about the gun. Why didn't he have a gun? The gun is going to come with Swindle, so you're going to see that when Swindle's fully revealed as well. I'm allowed to tell you that as well. That's a definite fact, that's why he didn't have the gun either, because the gun, of course, as I say, was with Swindle. People have quite rightly picked up things themselves. They picked up the fact that the big turret on the back, you know, was his big chest, etc. And I like the way that the little things coming out of his back, they actually fold up into the back of him into the back of the roof, for something that so it's hidden away for when he's in combined mode. It looks so clever. When is Swindle coming out? Summer 2020? No, it'll be next year. It'll be next year. So what they're saying, and again, this is because they're telling everybody this, not just me. That Bruticus is going to be done next year, 100% for sure. So that's the plan. And then, as I say, they're going to look at doing all of them. Their exact words. If you're new to the channel, or if you've not seen the interview that I did with Evan on the last day, on the Sunday just gone, he confirmed pretty much a load of things that we knew. Yeah, 2026 it'll be done. When did I say? I think I said next year. It'll be before 2027 anyway. 2027 they will have started another combiner. Could there be a Rise of the Beast Mirage Masterpiece, because we are getting excited? I would imagine so, Lazy King. What I think, that's the one. Dave Wire, thank you very much. CCX Pin, that's the one. It's definitely that. As soon as you said that, it came straight back to me instantly. They're really quick with combiners. We got 2 this year, I think, obviously because one of them was Studio Series and one of them was Age of the Primes, and they really wanted to get, of course, Devastator out ready before next year, because of course next year being the 40th anniversary of the movie, I think they went to town with it, to be fair. Going back to whoever asked about Studio Series Jazz, I would imagine, should you say it's weird to say Flashpoint, because I live in the UK, so that means we're going to pay way more than what that is. Will he be able to sit at the edge of his shelf unlike Superior? That's a good question. As in, will he be able to sit with his legs down? Haven't they all got knee bends? See, this is where I'm really guilty. My Silverbolt is still in a box. It's up there. I've not even opened my Silverbolt yet. I need to, what I'm going to do and actually get some time, build up Superior and build up Devastator, because I need to actually have these in hand myself. I don't know. I'm trying to think about his knee bend. Isn't it the same as Menasor? Skeletal frame. Darren's in. Perfect. I'm sure it is. I'm sure there is. I couldn't say exactly. I didn't see him in the fully combined mode long enough. In my opinion, Age Pro smokes at the Legacy 9. That's really good figs. All Spark reviews. So what's happened over the last few years has just been insane, because if anybody's in the chat, well, I think everybody will agree with me. So, you know, the Prime Wars trilogy wasn't too bad. There will still be more collabs, definitely Lazy Kings, 100%. No, but we're going to pay like £100 for it, aren't we? Something like that. The collabs are definitely going to happen. Jazz, I couldn't say for sure. If he's massive, if he's commanding really high prices on the secondary market, then I imagine they would. In fact, didn't they repackage him in the Autobot 5-pack only last 2 years ago? Was it? I'm sure they did 2 years ago. Happy birthday for you later on in the month, Darren. Hopefully you get some of the figures and some of the blockies that you want. What else have people been asking? I'm trying to catch up here. Yeah, I think we were talking about the combiners, weren't we? Yeah, they're going to do 1 a year. It's interesting because in SDCC, everybody was, what were they asking for? Everybody was asking for Computron. Like, everybody was asking for Computron. And been Predaking. The jets sticking out the back make it pretty much impossible to do without taking them off. I'm not too sure. As I said, I didn't, get to play around with them, and especially not sitting down, so I wouldn't like to say for sure. Could the concept art studios line come back? I would imagine so. I think they're going to do so. I think concept art never went away. I think they just used it for the Bumblebee movie, and they used it to get some extra figures out. I think they also used it. They used it for the Bumblebee movie. What else have they used it for? I imagine they'll use it for quite a few things. Shuri's in, fantastic. Does Onslaught have his gun? No. So I've already answered this, but I'm going to answer this loads. Onslaught's gun comes with Swindle. That is why we didn't see it with Onslaught. I think it's something similar to how they packaged, you know, Devastator's gun in pieces with other figures. Yes, so if that's when CCXP is, then that is when you will see it. That is true. What's going on here? Defensor is the best 5-member combine. I think if we really need to rework over the combiners. They were good for the time. I completely agree with you, and I think that's exactly why they're doing it. Yes, that's it. They did it. Thank you very much. They did it with KSI Widow. Have you seen Swindle? Yes, I've seen Swindle because he was on Bruticus. I've not seen him in robot mode. I've just seen him in the combined mode. What were we saying there? Yeah, they was. What's your favourite figure to mess with from 2026 Wave 1? That's a good question, actually. I only got to mess around with them again, really, really limited times. You've got to realise that when I get these, it's after the convention shuts. And in the case of the idiot that I am on this Friday night, I caught the wrong train home. Otherwise, I'd have done more than just Thundercracker, Windcharger, and somebody else. So yeah, I would have got home earlier and got more done, but because I caught the wrong train home and ended up in the wrong side of London, I got back late. Somebody was saying, yeah, CCXP, yes. So it's huge, and that is when we're going to see everything, which is great. It's my favourite figure to mess around with. So you're talking next year now. You're talking well in front of me. Do you know what wave Onslaught will be in? They've said he's going to be in the summer one, didn't they? They said he's going to be in June. I'm sure they did. I'm sure it says on the cards at the booth. Again, you have to just check the video when I recorded the booth. I'm sure it says summer. It wasn't the spring one. I'm sure it was the summer next year. You'd think it would be, because if you're thinking they've only got the blue prototype, it's not a full colour version. If it would have been a full colour version, then you'd obviously get the understanding that it's much more advanced in the process of it being made. They're all chatting to each other, which is good. You carry on chatting away, Shorty. Mess around with. Do you know what? Honestly, Thundercracker was fun because I like the fact that, is it £75 in the UK? Is it? That's okay. Laser King, the thing is, some people who've been talking about it really love it because, I mean, the cell shaded one's beautiful. I understand that. As I said in my video, the grey one, for me, I'd probably just leave it as a dead prime, whereas some people who I know have openly said, right, I'm going to use it for customs. I'm going to be using it, you know, to do their own things, which I think is a great idea. And then the partial one, I don't know, maybe you can just use that. Allspark, I can't remember the exact date. All I can tell you is he will 100%, the whole of Bruticus will be done by the end of next year. Obviously, Missing Link Delta Magnus looks incredible. Yes, he does. Pete's in as well now. Nice to have you, Pete. I've got you there with your channel member thing on. He is on pre-order and Hasbro Pulse. I think what we're talking about, I'd leave it as dead prime. That's what I mean. Some people, it's up to you what you want to do with it. I don't understand the reasoning behind the mold, obviously. I thought the mold was quite well taken, to be fair. I know a lot of people who really think a lot of that mold. It seems in America he's not as well liked as he is over here. That's what I can gather from the comments. I don't really know too much. Just go by what I read, to be fair. Funny enough, I've got, where is he? He's somewhere on the floor down here. He's not that bad, is he? I think because obviously we're so used to the Magic Square Bruticus is perfect. I hope they do a similar thing with Age of the Primes. Magic Square Bruticus is far too fiddly for my liking, in honesty. Rexy, Whittagon, Missing Link are really good. I'm biased though because I'm old. So where they release the figures, for me, it's the older figures I had. Yeah, this mold's not too bad. I think the big thing that shocked everybody was, what does cell shaded mean? Because, see the windows are cell shaded. That's basically all it means. There is Later Legends Sequence. There's a few cell shaded figures. In fact, the comic book editions which Hasbro did of Grimlock, Shockwave, etc. Grimlock, Shockwave. Why can't I think of them? Flame, Zaron, and the other one. They're all cell shaded. Bricks and Pixel Geeks in. Everybody's coming in. This is great. Yeah. So there's some brilliant. My favourite Megatron from the Siege line is the cell-shaded Megatron. It's beautiful, and typically I can't see it anywhere otherwise. Oh, yes, I can. Yes, I can. So this is the completely overused Megatron mold from Siege, but cell shaded, and it looks beautiful. Not by how it works, but they must look so masterpiece, and it's a good representation of what I mean. Why it looks not by how it works. The Magic Square, I can't argue with you. I can't argue with the fact that it doesn't look like Bruticus, because it does. It looks very much. I've reviewed it on this channel. I built it up. It took half a day. It drove me insane. Lecker Customs does. Yes, he does. I've seen some of his images. He's done loads. Thank you for the spotlight. I think what they're going to give you indeed looks max. I was paying 3 Voyage price and obviously Dev's Prime. Do you know what? That's probably a good point, actually. Yeah, I think they probably did have to go with deluxe figures because nobody would be. Oh, yeah, 86 megs is way better, but I'm just talking of the Siege mold. I mean, 86 megs is easily better, but it's not as good. If it was cell shaded, then it would be unstoppable, completely unstoppable. Me trying to chat about I grab my career and Mrs. Prime. I'm trying to catch up with all these here. Yeah, that's a good point on the devastation. Magic Squares, it's so bad, Pete. It's terrible. Are Transformers 3D printed or mold injected? Mold injected. It depends where you're buying them from. It depends who's making them, to be fair. On my third party figs. Yeah, they're awful, all spark. They really are terrible. Yeah, that's it. So that's the other one to go with that, Pete. That's the Optimus to go with him. Funny enough, he's somewhere here as well. There he is. So that's just all that. Hopefully that answers what cell shaded is. As Pete, who's, you love it, has put it, just makes it look a little bit more, as you can see, animation accurate. We need more rescue bots. We only got one in Legacy. So I asked that question as well, and obviously they are well aware that we need a Boulder and we need a Blades because they're the original characters. So they're well aware of that. And when they say things like that, that's when they usually say we can neither confirm or deny that they're being made. But I think everybody gets the understanding that they're literally filling in every single gap. So Netflix spoiler pack's brilliant as well. So they'll get around to it. Again, they won't give any certain dates. They definitely won't give me any certain dates. But all they'll do is get around to it. The same as when they said about I think the only thing they gave away specifically in the interview with me was that they are looking to use the Bumblebee mold as a Throttlebot mold. We technically got 2 rescue bots for Legacy. Yes, we've got Medics and Chase, and do not forget Heatwave came out for Age of the Primes as well. So as I say, they've only got Boulder to do of the main one. So Medics, Chase, Boulder, and Blades with the original 4. So yeah, they are aware that Boulder and Blades needs doing. Store. I spoke to them about stocking Missing Link, and they said, right, what's this gone? That's the. I don't know. Mine was. Wow, it's going fast. And they said it's something they'd like us to do. And I just mentioned. Yeah, I always mention everything to them. I really tell them loads. If you're wondering, anybody who's new to the channel, I'm trying to keep up with this speech here. It's the third time I splash bad rabbit hole. Will they use multi-faith? I have no idea. And Computron's not even confirmed yet. I would imagine they'd probably do both. You'd like to think they'd be able to give you both choices. When I was talking, I went into myself time video that did not last. Prototype 3D printed and finished, his mold injected. Yeah, as I say, so yeah, Missing Link, fingers crossed we'll get them at Battersea, which is great. Computron can't answer. It's hard to stick to one figure of each, but that's another reason why I started selling so many, because I think Sideswipe, joking apart, I think I looked at and about 14 Sideswipes, and I was like, I really don't need or can't space or whole handle. And that was only including 1 G1, even though I've got about 7 G1s. So that's the problem with collecting. And funny enough, that's what I was saying before I got completely distracted. Somebody was saying that Age of the Primes is killing it over Legacy. They've done this now for the last however many years. I think Thrilling 30 were okay. I think then Combiner Wars was a lot better. Power of the Primes and Titan's Return were better than Combiner Wars, but they still were flawed. Then we got Siege, which was way better than all of them. Earthrise and Kingdom again, which were way better than all of them. Legacy's completely surpassed any of the Prime Wars trilogy, and at the moment, the Age of the Primes is already surpassing the Legacy trilogy, which is nuts, to be fair. With IDW this year, Stevie 06, and they to be fixed. I don't think they had an obsession, Luke. I think it's just because they needed another Primer and they needed another Megatron. And that's obviously easy for them to do. If you think about it as well, isn't the new Blocky's wheels an IDW Optimus Prime? I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's a new Optimus. He's the IDW version of him, because everybody at first thought it was the classics, and it's not. It's the IDW. So when they make their way over here, that's insane. That's another whole line of figures to start collecting. But how good does their reformatted Megatron look? Their reformatted Megatron is going to be beautiful. I picked up the where did I put him? I picked up the original the other day again. I've just forgot how good. Where have I put him? Blocky's Megas. He's brilliant. Oh, I don't know where he is. I'll find him in a minute. Yes, he does. Onslaught looks very good, J.R. Johnson. Somebody messaged me, I've forgotten their name, on really detailed message on Instagram. I was asking me loads of questions, and of course I couldn't answer because I hadn't got the figure in front of me. And apparently he was telling me that, you guys tell me, because I tend not to spend too much time on social media, but apparently it's the first impressions aren't the greatest, but I don't understand why, because it's just a prototype model. That new wheelie figure is looking good. The new wheelie one, this one, the new one's pretty good, to be fair. He's massive as well. Anything's better. Yes, agreed. Anything's better than Combiner Wars because yeah, the new wheelie's brilliant. The new Brawn's really good as well, to be fair. He's huge. He's just like a massive. Communication been great. Soundwave is there. There he is. Also, the Dark of the Moon G1 can reissue the Chronicle with a grid hitch. Also on the Black Issue. I lost that action for Bape. Also, that's I have. Also, the Dark of the Moon G1. Oh yeah, the Optimus. Oh, I think I know what you mean with that. The wheelie. I don't know when he's out yet. I'm not sure when that wheelie figure's out. I met Soundwave. Anybody who's been watching the live streams, there's a Soundwave in the chat who is brilliant. He never breaks character, even in real life. I met him in real life and he didn't break character, and he was dressed as Soundwave. So a big thumbs up to you. Fair play to you, buddy. Let's be last night because Onslaught was in the movie. I thought you were going to bring out a Blocky's wheels. Oh no, I haven't got any Blocky's wheels, not yet. What about the newest Blocky's? Oh, I can't think what I've got. I've got a few things in the post, to be fair. Retro series, I hope so. I hope so, because I think it works. I haven't seen any Constructicons here. Not really, not any. They were they came out in America way before we got them at all over on this side. We were really late because the first waves were supposed to come out. I gutted the Leo Kaiser thing. I'm gutted. I'll be completely honest with you, Bone Man. Is that yeah, Bone Man? Because me and Evan were gonna actually because he needs to do a walkthrough video. We had it planned. He was going to do it. He was going to do it with me, which was even better. I was like, oh, like all panicking and stuff. We just didn't have time. It just didn't have time. It was just the whole weekend just disappeared. Do I have a prototype figure? I've got some G1 prototypes, but not really. I'm not allowed prototypes for obvious reasons. And do you know what? They actually burn them. They're not allowed them at all. Retro wheelies due out in March. That long is madness for a new gen combiner, in my opinion. Which is that new gen? Is that is that the new Predator King, or is that the? I think. Do you mean the new Predator King? Because €350 is about £350. I'm not too sure which one you mean. Oh, Leo Kaiser. But honestly, if you've seen these figures, which again I've been lucky enough to see them in hand, I was trying to get across to people. They are massive. They are like especially Kill Bison and especially Drill Horn. When you see them as legs, I'm looking at them and I'm thinking that's bigger than Siege Megatron. It's definitely, I've got Siege Megatron in front of me, right in front of me now, and when I've got him in tank mode and I've seen them two in tank, them two are bigger than him. Never mind Jaruga, which is going to be. He's got to be bigger. He's got to be bigger, Bone Man, because he's just, the pieces in him are huge. I'm so surprised if he's smaller. If he's Wheelie is out in May. That's ages away. That is ages away. Maybe I should do a review on that one then. Maybe I should do. Who knows? But yeah, he's just massive. And as I say, I know that there's a couple of voyages in Devastator. Xander, nice to have you on it. But the Leo Kaiser figures are huge. And as I say, they come with so many other things. Hasbro cancelled my Lucas by telling me then. Did you not sort it out? No. I had a similar problem. I genuinely did. I had a similar problem. I thought that it had gone through. And then I actually rang them up. I was like, why is it being cancelled? And then they sorted it out. Collection 0, I like very much between the 59 version and the New Year Convoy. I think Collection 0, the most thought New York Blue Winners. I've seen that one. That's one of the only ones that I haven't brought, to be fair. I just thought I can't buy another Prime for that reason, just for the thingy one. Soundwave is in again. Good day, Toys R Us. So happy that the Chess Force or the Ninja Spears designers everyone watch. They are. Honestly, they listen. They massively listen. Apparently, they made a few adjustments already to, with some more ratchets and some more things on the shoulder for Leo Kaiser. That's why Evan wanted to do the video, but again, we didn't have time to do it. Any idea when is the next hazard? No idea. And I don't want one anytime soon. I need to actually save. So I just checked on Pulse and the whole combiner. That's weird because it looks bigger than Devastator. How big are they saying Devastator is? I can't remember. I can't remember what they all are. Were you able to pick up any TFCon Chicago exclusives? I saw it, but I wasn't. I like Fans Hobby, but I don't. But if I'm being completely honest, Big Easy, it just wouldn't fit in my collection anywhere. I'd look at it, I'd review it, it'd be nice, and then unfortunately, it'd probably just go up in the loft. So I wouldn't be buying. I saw it, but I also as well. I like the jet as Skyquake, but then of course you've got this whole other tank, and you've got two Power Masters which he never had. So I think it was brilliant, but I think it was Fans Hobby's weakest attempt, which sounds awful because I don't want to sound awful because I love what I'm trying to say is I love the fact that they're trying to get what you guys call the G1.5 figures. They're just G1 to us, out in masterpiece scale. I don't know if they did or used to be. I couldn't tell you, Jason. Somebody in the chat will definitely be able to tell you. But to use Overlord for Skyquake just didn't work for me because that's only half the bot. However, it did look good. My biggie, I thought the same. Does it? I bet it does. I bet it's huge, isn't it? It just, for me, it's just... Now, I've reviewed their version of Buster. I've reviewed their version of Armada Jetfire and a few other things, and I say I'm not knocking them because they're good figures, they're good toys. I like the fact that you don't need a degree or half a day to transform them. So Fans Hobby stuff I actually find quite a bit of fun, whereas Blocky's Rexy and then take my Galaxy version Sentinel have Rexy. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. When the Studio Series Transformers 1 Orion packs be announced, they did it. They did Optimus Prime Orion packs a year and a half ago. It was the first Studio Series Deluxe Optimus Prime. Or are you talking about Blockies now? Because can't be talking about Blockies in Studio Series. They did it already, didn't they? I don't know if they're doing in another one. I know that they did the main one. Did they call him Optimus? Did they call him? Have been upgraded now. I may receive the spin the wheel. Oh, have you? I don't know if you've. When you get the little circle on your name, then you get on the thingy. A year ago, yeah, it was at least, wasn't it? It was the May. I had May Comic Con because I did an early review on him then. So unless there's a new one that I don't know about, because of course Orion Pax didn't transform, did he? It was Optimus who transformed. So they've already done a Studio Series one. That figures it. Yeah, it's old already. It's really old. As I say, I messed around with that, thinking there's Orion Pax on the leaks. Is there? Then that you can see, I'm surprised by that. I didn't know that, unless it's a reissue, unless it's a retool, a rejig. But Orion Pax, yes, he did transform, didn't he? Of course he did. It wasn't until he got the Matrix became Optimus Prime. He can't be too much different to what the thingy one is. I imagine it'll just be a retool. But you saw my expression that I didn't even know there was one. So would it be a post? It's got to be a postcard, hasn't it? It's got to be that. It'll be that. It'll just be maybe a smaller version. I don't know. Maybe he means Orion Pax because he cannot transform. We got Optimus. Yeah, we did get Optimus, but we, like you say, it's got to be once he's got his cog. So again, I didn't even know that they were going to do that. To be fair, so it's unless it's an opportunity for them to reissue that figure, because I believe that the Optimus and the Megatron are now really hard to get hold of. I know Megatron is. I know loads of people have been struggling to try and get hold of a Megatron. No mouth plate. Yeah, that's it. That's all they could do. What we got? Half an hour nearly in already. I've got all of you guys with your discs next to your name. You're all in the wheel, ready for, of course, the monthly draw. Soundwave, yours hasn't appeared on there yet. Any more Junkions or a new group of weaponizers? Still not. Pete, what are you playing at? Honestly, you need to watch that film. I think we're probably going to get more Junkions because, of course, we got Junkion Jalopy. So I think maybe. So, Allspark, I don't know if you know what channel members are, but again, so if you look after Pete, who just spoke before you, there's a little circle after his name that just means he's a channel member. There you go. Pete's got one at the end of his name. I am when eaten until someone else does a gift. Oh, okay, doesn't matter. It's just basically, it's channel membership. It's just basically a way that what I like to do on this channel is I like to keep everything available for everybody. So some content creators will do like a Patreon and you get early access to stuff. And what was I going to say? Yeah, so basically people do that just to contribute to the channel. But because I don't want to segregate anybody, I want everybody to be able to have an experience everything the same as everybody else does. What I do is, there you go. I just do it for the memberships. I do a spin the wheel, and one lucky member each month wins a deluxe figure of their choice, and that's basically just what it is. For those of you wondering, so if you're wondering why all these people, like you can see, has the discs at the end of their name. See, like it's got a star. I wonder what Prime vs Prime will think of Jalopy since he loved the legacy. Did he? I don't even know if he did or not. I imagine, hopefully. We pay the membership for the chats. Yeah, people. The way that people said it, double checking. Did you mention that each Chest Force member will be around? They'll be at least. They're near enough Voyager. They honestly are near enough Voyager. They are massive, huge figures. I've seen them up close in both modes. I've seen them combined at San Diego. I saw them at the breakfast or something when we get Nexus Prime or something. A new Rodimus. Everybody's asking for a new Rodimus. Everybody's asking for a new Rodimus. So I'm hoping that next year, with it being the 40th anniversary, I'm hoping we get to hear something more about then. I'm pretty sure that they said it was going to be a new. We've had no coloured leak of Onslaught yet. No. It's your birthday in December. Nice one, Lazy King. Dare we ask how old you are? We're all old in this chat. Yes, I was looking at Scramble City Original Ultra Magnus from Takara in the box. Used, of course, box beat to hell. The 50th anniversary was good. The original box is beautiful for the Scramble City. Let me just mind wipe. My mind wipe is sitting on top of it. But if I grab this one for you, my birthday in December 2. Human Russ, what do you think is going to the gift of the channel members? What do you think? I don't know. They'll pick it themselves. There's the Scramble City Magnus. That's the original one. That's the vintage one. And as you say, the box is beautiful, and there it says Scramble City. And then they've got the amazing battle scene on the back. The Japanese battle scenes were way better than the standard. I say standard, but this one isn't standard. This one was the Italian one. That's why it says Transformer, and that's why it says Jig there. I hope Run is a new mold. Satan among the transfers. I think it'll be a new mold. I think it'll be a new mold because, yeah, Japanese box art for the win. Yeah, this has just got the standard, which one that Hasbro has. I've got the Hasbro one up there if anybody wants to see it as well. Everybody wants a new mold. I like the Kingdom Rodimus, but I wouldn't ever mind a new one. I've heard they made I've heard they want to make a new mold as well, and I've heard that they've basically confirmed. Well, we know we're going to get an 86 Rodimus, so it'd be nice if we got a new mold. Well, let me put these back without breaking them all. There we go. Yeah, the Scramble City box for Magnus without the big flap is beautiful. That was the point of that anyway. What is my oldest figure? Probably that. The original blue. Is he older than the Macross Jetfire, or are they the same? I don't know. Either this guy or the Macross Jetfire, as in not the Transformers one, as in before he came out with no real face on him. This guy's battered, really battered. He doesn't even stand up. That's probably my oldest. Rodimus Convoy, missing link. I've got a few Diaclone, but I've acquired them by accident. I don't really hunt, or I don't really buy Diaclone, to be fair. A, because it's another alley that I don't want to go around into. Because they're too expensive, and I also don't think I'll be able to just because the prices of them are so stupid. I won't be able to get them. And some of them, you know, there's a joke going around in the people who collect Diaclone fandom that, you know, a Diaclone car will cost you as much as a real car. You know, Mark's doing the next HasLab. I have a wee feeling it might be Rail Racer. Everybody asked for Rails Racer as well. Now, if Evan was making it, I would say that there would be more chance of Evan making it, because Evan's interest in Japanese Transformers is far more than Mark's. Mark likes a bit of the Beast Wars. Evan loves RID and whatever. That's why, of course, why Omega Prime was his. Okay, Paul, thanks for jumping in, mate. Nice to have you on here. Appreciate it. What was I saying? Do I get auto character of Prime? Do I get onto a character of Prime? I don't know what that means. Well, that's gone too fast. Should be a bit more of a rim wall to make Strange look more like Rock. I never had any Diaclone. That's really clever, Lazy King. To be fair, I've got somebody sent me some 3D printed figures. I've got to do reviews on them because they look really clever. Diaclone for me, the only one that I went out my way and brought intentionally, knowing it was a Diaclone, was Red Tracks. For some reason, again, you know, especially with the back of the box, I just had to have a red track. So that was the first thing that I managed to get. I'm going to beat Pete to it. Can you all hit the like button for me, please? I know it's cheeky, but there's way more than double of you there. Love to see leader versions ready to Star Saber and Atlas. Heck, maybe even a Titan 3-pack. Mark keeps pushing Machine Wars. Yeah, I want to bring him my Machine Wars figures, but he wasn't there, although I was going to show him. Yeah, I think if Mark was doing it, if I sent you a 3D print of Teletran scaled, if you honestly, if you wanted to, I'm sure I could put it to some use. To be honest, I'd use it as my backgrounds for most of my videos if you'd let me. That's it. Isn't no, you see, well, they did Red Tracks is now Road Rage, but it wasn't originally. Red Tracks was the error on the back of was it on the back of that box or the other one? Oh no, that's the 86. On the back of the 85 boxes, of course, Tracks was painted red. And there's an actual MB. Is it MB box Red Tracks? It comes as Tracks and it's red. That's one of my grails, which I've just stopped hunting for. Power Dashers, yeah, as a kid, didn't even realise it was TF adjacent until the... Yeah, to be fair, I didn't see them either. I suppose the jump starters were quite early, weren't they? Thanks, Pete. Yeah, it was the track. MB released a Tracks in the red paint. And the toy's back in there. Soundwave is one of the best figures ever made. This is the year of the Soundwave, as well as the year of Bruticus. It's the year of the Soundwave. Do I get in character of Optimus Prime? Like, you could do if you want to, Allspark. It's quite entertaining, to be fair. But please don't, don't feel that you have to. It's great that you're doing it. I love it. I love the fact that when people do it, it's entertaining. Shall we say that? We're always up for a bit of fun on here. That sounds interesting, Lazy King. I'm nowhere near talented enough to do anything like that, and don't have the means, the ways or the means to do anything like that either, to be fair. I just don't have time for anything at the moment. I can't believe it's November already. It's crazy. The age of sandwich, no more waiting around to follow me and you will never be bored again. See, this is though, the only problem is when I try and keep up with actual people asking questions, sometimes it goes, Rat Trap to replace. I don't know. A lot of people asked that as well. They did. Honestly, a lot of people said that. How... I'm not, you'll hate me for saying this, but it's completely true. How, because I'm not a big fan of Beast Wars, how small is Rat? Is he in scale to the rest, or should he be a bit bigger? Ironically enough, I've got the Masterpiece. It arrived the other day, which I might have a look at and have a play around. But it just doesn't interest me. I've tried. Will he be doing it? I don't think so. Sorry, I think the problem is, I've got a wedding on the Friday night, on the 21st. And then there's so much going on that weekend. I just think at the moment it's not going to happen. I know that a few people obviously, well, I want to go myself, let's be honest. It's like Bumblebee to Optimus Prime. So perhaps it's already in scale then. Am I right or am I wrong? Which obscure Gemini are you trying to... I'm not, to be fair. Boy Nania, I'm not after any Diaclone. I get, it's as stupid as it sounds, because people see this channel and they see my Instagram, I get offered them all the time. So it's as boring as it sounds. I wouldn't even have to hunt them down. I could just message people back. But I've managed to resist. I've managed to resist all of the... could there be an 86 Megatron that turns into a gun? Not in this country, because they can't do it. Maybe Japan, maybe, if they did, but if they did, it would have to be packaged in robot mode, and even then, it's just, the problem is, do you know what, I ended up watching a video today earlier, funnily enough, somebody talking about it. It's just, do you get other figures before anyone else because you are a content creator? So I don't get figures before anybody else. What it is I'm lucky enough to sometimes just around, just so if I've got a really good relationship with a lot of people and a lot of companies and a lot of toy shops. So it started last year when I was basically asked to help out, like exactly what I did this year, just help out on a booth with Hasbro, just basically to be there, talk to the fans, and then just help. And I don't really like saying what I'm about to say next, but it's totally true. And whether you watch him or whether you don't, whether you like him or whether you don't, so basically everybody knows there's an illicit stolen toy ring that goes around between some reviewers. Some reviewers, everybody knows they're getting them stolen and they shouldn't get them stolen. So basically what I was then asked to do when I was there is to review these figures before said reviewer put up the stolen figure reviews of them. So now when I'm lucky enough, or when I'm in the vicinity of, or if there's any new figures around, what they do is they get them to me so I can I've never met him in my life. That's exactly what I'm on about. I've never met him in my life, and yeah, they would rather photos, videos, even with my very primitive way of just a phone with whatever, with a backing thing, or as the case it was at MCM. I don't know if you saw my picture. I forgot my tripod. I literally balanced a phone on a bin in a box to do the videos. They would rather them come out officially that way, in a really crude way, than unofficially from somebody who's paid for a stolen toy. So right place, right time. I think it's literally just that. I'm looking at my original in charge. I think that. So I don't get, like, they don't send me things like Hasbro don't say, here's the next wave of figures, here's yours, play around with them. Because if they did, then I wouldn't rush them as much as I would. Again, when I get access, it's in the evening, I've met the convention, I'm just taking them back to my hotel room. You can check the last 3 MCMs, I've done exactly the same thing. It's just right place, right time. It's a bit annoying, but it's really weird that there's such a huge differentiation between certain people getting them and some people aren't. So it's really weird. When they call it, well, they get fire now. What will people? Well, that's the thing, innit? It's the problem you've got though is some people, and I'm not stupid either. My production's very, very minimal. I'm not saying he's my favorite transformer. I got loads. I'll come back to that in a minute. I'm sure he's very good at what he does, but obviously he does deal with stolen toys. That's all we need to say. There's no ifs, no buts. He probably is a better reviewer than me. He probably has much better setup than me. His production value is probably way better than mine. But at the end of the day, he deals in stolen toys, or he pays for stolen toys. Some people don't believe it. Some people don't care. I've seen some people. I've seen some people. I'm very good, thank you, Starvatch. I've seen some people even, involve me in a conversation with it, and I've basically said, yes, he does. And then most people just said, yeah, but I don't care. So it's up to people don't care. So I think, like what Simon just said, I'm definitely Reddit. That I think by doing that, it does take a bit of their, thing away from them. And they never issue with when I was on your toy with you. You're actually being about Soundwave now. I need tell. I don't know which ones that means. When you say that Soundwave, it sounds really weird, but you do just mean as Soundwave. It's annoying. I'm answering the question now about Singapore getting them early. It's really annoying because in the UK we tend to get everything last. I don't know how they manage to. You're true. A lot of people don't care. People just want to watch the video. They don't care where it's come from. They'll just watch it. But yeah, it's like Simon said. It's a way of, like, Rodimus Primal got sent, the normal one of this from Hot Wheels really early. So again, it's nice that as you say, they're giving it back to people to get things out there efficiently. And we go, it might be scalper prices. What does that mean? So scalper prices is the best example I could give. That is, let's just talk about the Constructicons that people have took ages to get. So let's just say he went into, you guys have Walmart or whatever. Let's just say you go into your local toy shop. I don't know which one it is, and there's 86 Mixmaster there, and there's 5 of them. So that particular scalper would then buy all 5 at once, and then what they would do is then they'd sell them on the aftermarket for much higher scalper prices, much more expensive than what they're worth. But obviously with Emgo's what, 300k subscribers, he's probably getting paid a load by YouTube, so I would imagine that he could afford to do that. And that's what a scalper is. A scalper is, again, another person who's not very he's not frowned upon as well, isn't he? The Galaxy Sentinel's shins are just taller than wheel jacks. I like Emgo's great. Emgo, for like I don't tend to watch many reviews. I wouldn't say I watch many of his reviews. I definitely use him for his third-party figure transformations all the time. Guardian Robot or Guardian Robot. I love Guardian Robot. It's one of my favourites. So I'm super biased. With Guardian Robot. No, I don't think they're saying he's a scalper. They're saying that he paid the scalper price. Oh no, he didn't. Emgo's legit though. I'm sure he got it months before the release. Oh, that means he won't be a scalper then. Scalper's when somebody buys everything off the shelves, which are out. So I don't know what you mean by that. That's how I interpret the word scalper. Like if I went into my Smiths tomorrow, I can't think of a new figure that's just coming out. If anything's coming out brand new, and I went there the day it opened, and the day it came out and released, and just brought them all, and then sold them all for twice the amount. That's my interpretation of the word scalper. I'll be lost without MGO. Yeah, exactly. Like shout out to MGO for that. I think it's, if I ever get to the point where I'm lucky enough that this is my full-time job, or I can stay at home and be around the family more, and then do that, I would do much more just Transform It videos. But because some of the ones take days to do. There's going to be a short set. West Coverage for Smith information. Here's the club a bit about Toy Story. I think get them anywhere else. What do they do with Cosmos and Thrust? Yeah, that's it. That's a brilliant example. J.R. Johnson, that is a brilliant example that the people were doing that, taking all, like I say, the figures that people couldn't get and just buying them in bulk and then selling them for insane prices. It's exactly papercraft combo. Hot Wheels is accepting papercraft. There will definitely be more Hot Rails as well. I don't know if it'll be Soundwave. There'll be definitely way more. Optimus Mini Geo on Hot Wheels is it? That's nuts. I've got both of them. I've got the Nemesis and I've got this guy. They're both amazing, but they're not $300 worth. But that's again because they made them just to order, didn't they? The packaging for these are beautiful though. They really are. They do go to town. I think the packaging is probably just as much as the figure. There's like 4 boxes, presentation box and everything else as well. It's crazy. And the weight of it's ridiculous. The weight of it's just solid. All of it's die cast. Every single bit of it, apart from the rubber tires, like the cab, the legs, the back bar, the truck. Now he's in character. It's nuts. See, now he's in character. What time? 46. 14 minutes to the wheel. I'm actually quite awake. I was so tired earlier. I was thinking about having a can of Red Bull, but I thought no, because I'll stay up all night. So I didn't. What's this? Thundercracker you reviewed. Is it a prototype or finished? Finished. I think it's what's classed as. It was finished, but it's like not in a package. So it was the final product. That's what the final product is going to look like. That's good. I have a baby. Then you're on the. J.R. Johnson, I've got 3. That's why I don't sleep, mate. I've got 3. 3, 6, and 9. They don't sleep, and they still don't sleep. The 9-year-old still doesn't sleep. What are you drinking, fellow human? I turn this into a bit of a guessing game. You guys guess, and I'll tell you if you're right what I'm drinking. My transformation is better. Like I'm so happy with my plushie Starscream. I got a TF Nation. Yeah, scalping is really bad, to be fair. I do. Here they are. They're all going to start arguing now. There was 2 Soundwaves fighting last time. Now there's an Optimus and a Soundwave fighting. The plushie Starscream. Luke, was that the one that was from the Battersea store where they're selling them at the front? Because there's loads of them. You are drinking. I am drinking a liquid. But what I do is people just guess what flavour it is because it's a bit fun. Mariah Carey just launched her Christmas. Did she? Oh, no. Don't everybody just... Nope, it's not Lucozade. I'll give you another little tease. Because we like to do this. If you're new to the channel, I do apologise. People normally do this in the first 10 minutes. Earthrise Seekers, I'm hoping they don't get weighing. It's not wine. It's not wine either. That is a Street Fighter glass, by the way. That is Ryu. And there is the Street Fighter on the back. Yes. Transformers collabs more. Summer Fruits. Pete nailed it in one. Actually, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's the other one that's very much like Summer Fruits. I'll go into character now. Everybody's going into character based on the tooling and molding related to how much retooling was accepted. You believe that mold needs when Hasbro bench. You wasn't able to do it. It's apple and black currant. It's forest. It's nearly forest fruits. I've lost track now. Someone's talking about Thundercracker. Let me talk about Thundercracker then. So Thundercracker for the cone heads. I'm not too sure because it's not a cherry favourite. It's, how can I word it? To get the cone head, it'd be interesting because what I like is that's a tough question. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. They used the trick from the G1. They put the nose cone through and out the back. So obviously some of the cone would need to be the head. So they would probably have to do something really different with with exactly that, the front of the nose cone. I'm not too sure. It'll be really interesting. I wonder why they're not larger scale, but not this. Which Nemesis are you on about? Nemesis Prime, Nemesis. There's millions of Nemesises. There's millions of Nemesis Primes as well. Where's the other one I've got? My favourite Nemesis is the Siege one, to be fair. Oh, here we go. Fung Boy's in there. I take these stupid expensive AI Optimus Prime statues. That's what everybody's talking about as well. How can them statues be £3,800? I don't understand how they can be. If I could get time when the baby would sleep, I could do some stop motion of a few funny sounds. You should get them up there. Honestly, get them up there. Send them to me on the Discord. I'll put them up on this channel, no problem whatsoever. You remember, that's one of the perks. One of the perks is I'll promote your stuff. I don't know if you've read that or not, but it is. How could Hasbro sign off on them? I don't know, to be fair. I couldn't believe. I thought they were a joke as well. It's like 3 times more expensive than a RoboSen. How can they be that much? It's insane. I know they're going to be re-released. I know people have asked for that, but I can't tell you when because I don't know, and I don't know exact. I know that loads of people have asked for it though, so I would imagine it's going to be at some point soon. £9 Lego Death Star is cheaper than AI statues. That's true. The Lego Death Star them statues are a joke. They can't even be released. I can't need to send you a Lego and just promote. Please do. You've got my Instagram. All of you do it. What I'm going to be doing as well is my TikTok is going to be for everything. So you're going to notice on my TikTok, I'm going to start putting Star Wars, Jurassic Park, everything. Everything's going to go on the TikTok. This is still going to be just Transformers only because it's easier that way. And then, as I say, TikTok's going to be a combination of everything because I love all toys. So it's easier to do that. So it makes more sense to do that as well because like everybody collects loads of different things. Sam is in as well. He has woke up. I don't know where he's been, but there is Sam. You're right, buddy. If I get 200 followers, I will raffle off an Oscar. No, you won't. You can keep that. You don't need to raffle off one of them. When will you do the wheel? I'm going to do the wheel at 11 o'clock in 8 minutes. But no inside news on that. I know that he's quite high up on the list. On stop motion for Raw. Yeah, I do it's 11 o'clock in UK time, so in 8 minutes. So yes, there's a few there. Who's in Considerate Prime? Oh, there he is. Any news of yeah, everybody's asking for him as well. So yeah, the wheel again. Let's see if Fung Boy can make it, or let's see if Pete can win another one. To be fair, I ordered second Magnus Aerosol 2 takes me to. Would love if we got a new hauler if they didn't even know to combine 86 Devastator. That would be interesting. How would you think they could do it? I don't know. Haulers, Haulers one of them figures that made me want to collect E-Hobby. To be fair, E-Hobby made me want. Family is already tuned in. Finally got a short mask variant Hondo. See, there you go. See, that's the thing, Pete. That's why I thought when I was talking to you about the Marvel and stuff before, I thought, well, I might as well just use the TikTok for all that sort of stuff. Because I like Mask, I like Jurassic Park, I like Lego, I like loads of different things, to be fair. But as I say, on this, I just keep it true to Transformers. So expect loads of things. Picks up the last of the Ion Blaster, says weekly, never shoots in the back. And it's to say, it's just... I'll put it in general chat on Discord. Yeah, please do. Please put it all on. That's what the Discord's for. I didn't do one until I got talked into it. It's Sam's fault. Sam's on TikTok now. Sam's Formers is one of his faults. Are you in the US? Do your checks go back? Do your clock? Oh yeah, their clocks are different to ours, aren't they? Ours went back last time. I don't mess with scalpers. My local toy store has gotten crazy with their prices scalper level. That's really bad, actually. I know that, where was it? I know that my local toy stores, because the new Pokemon came out last week, and they were literally only letting, again, like they should do, one person, one thing, one person, one thing. Do you have a fight with Soundwave? Don't mind us. No, I never fight with Soundwave. Don't have time for it. To be fair, Fung Boy, I don't. I'm useless. I'm very guilty of everything, to be fair. The only thing I really do is this. That's all I tend to do YouTube. My Instagram I fall behind on. Everything. There should be figures of Tycho Transformers race car figures. Yes, they've said that a few times. I know that they were Evan was discussing that with a fan over the weekend as well, because that's it. They could if they wanted to. I nearly got that set a couple of times. I did nearly get that set, but I thought, A, where would I put it, and B, I can't. Iron Brew. No, it's not Iron Brew. Oh yeah, you're going back to that. I had the Rhino. I never had the Flying Car Thunderwog. It's. Just going to tell you, it's apple and strawberry. It's apple and strawberry, just because we lost all that anyway. Daylight saving time ends here Sunday. So yeah, so you guys changed tonight. We changed last week, which again the Americans were mostly greatly appreciative of, with the jet lag etc. last week at MCM. But do you know what? All of them are great. Obviously, you guys, I presume, mainly know Evan. But if any of you collect, like Dwight, who does Marvel, Dwight's an amazing guy. Chris, who does Star Wars, he's lovely. Lenny, who does G.I. Joe, they're all such fun guys. They were so nice. All my local Smiths, someone told me 3 men were fighting for the last. Were they? Wow. Every day I forget that Kingdom, Inferno, and Tracks both exist. Why is that? Have you not got them? Or did you want to get them? Kingdom Tracks. Everything. Kingdom, I liked Kingdom Tracks. Humorous, do you think perhaps So you've got until the end of next year to get Bruticus. So you've got loads of time to save for that. Tiger Hawk is out right now, and Tiger Hawk is very, very reduced in most places I've seen. So if I was you, I'd get that, I would think. Graham Sullivan, things are going well, thank you, pal. You will never win Optimus Prime. This was roller hair, fun boy. For real, I've seen also the Wheeled Warriors. Jason the Wheeled Warriors is fantastic. I never even realised they did toys until Pete said last time. Well, Pete said on a stream one night. Luke, I mean, as I say, they're always on eBay. I know they are, to be fair. eBay's great for everything. Again, you just need to keep. My advice for anybody with eBay is just put stuff in your basket, get an idea of what things are actually going, not in the basket, in your watch list. Get an idea what things are actually going for, and then, funnily enough, if you put things in your basket, 90% of the time, if you're to buy it now, you'll get an offer to buy it even cheaper. So that's how I got most of mine. Tiger Hawk is out. Tiger Hawk's been out for ages. Are we talking about the same thing? Are we talking about Transformers Tiger Hawk? This one is this one. Am I losing the plot, guys? Is that Tiger Hawk? Is this Tiger Hawk? I'm sure it is. Have I lost the plot? Because something's telling me that I'm sure this is. I'm looking at it thinking, yeah, it's gone. No, that's Razor Claw. Fantastic, brilliant, thank you. I'll say hi to them both, and I'll say hi to Fabes for when he wakes up, if you play this back for him later, if he's listening. Do you mean Razor Claw or do you mean Tiger Hawk? Because that is Tiger Hawk, isn't it? Please, someone, because I'm having a complete breakdown now. I'm sure it is. Because these are the things that aren't my cup, not cup of tea, aren't my, what's the word? They aren't my, what's the word? I got Tiger Hawk and eBay and retail. They're not my forte. I don't know too much about them. That turns into a mounted turret for Starscream to use since he can't be a gun. Someone else asked that. Someone asked, can we have a Megatron as a hiss tank? You know, or sorry, Starscream as a hiss tank with the comic book line. And that's a great one. That's Razor Hawk. It is Tiger Hawk. See, that's all right. So the other person, so I'm not getting confused. The other person seems to be, they mean Razor Claw. I think they mean Razor Claw. Right, that's okay. This is Tiger Hawk. It's going back. Because I was confusing, man. You meant Toga Hawk. I know what you meant, but yeah, there you go. I'm being funny now. 90 seconds for the wheel, guys, and then we're going to do that. I'm going to just carry on right up till midnight, maybe longer. Whoa, that went fast. Race Claws on the MCN. Oh yeah, my bad. Race Claw, they look similar, my bad. Pole position. Glad to jump on some Beast Wars. So some of it really intrigues me. A lot of it doesn't. Like the crazy ones, like this, the original one of this, like, is brilliant. I would never have even looked at this. I would the original unless I saw the Legacy one. The Legacy one made me buy the original, which I think is brilliant. And the Legacy, oh, where's he gone? And this guy, the Legacy of this guy made me buy the original as well. Because I just think, I saw us in the MCM, I was the one going about Power Rangers. How did you enjoy it? I think it was fantastic. I didn't get the con flu. I was okay, thank you. Didn't get poorly. I don't tend to get poorly. You looked tired, buddy. Loved your interview with Evan MCM, but you had a great time. I do get tired though. That's something I can't argue with that, because I was still making videos. I put the big convoy video up at what, 3 a.m. and I was back in the hall by 7:30. So yeah, I was tired. I was definitely tired. We'll have some blue on it because that's the only thing I would. Yeah, I can't tell you anything about it because I didn't see it. The only one I saw was completely all blue, obviously for obvious reasons. Right, let me get this ready quickly, guys. So for anybody who's new or who's watching this, as I say, what I do is I basically give back to people. What's this say? Where are you? Yeah, I wasn't too far away, to be fair. What I do to give back to the people who pay for the channel memberships, I do a wheel of names. I put all of their names in there, and then I'm going to spin it to see who the winner is, but I have to keep it away from the screen because what it does is sometimes it copyrights me for some reason. I have no idea. Need to watch more. Magmatron is an incredible figure, right? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Boom. Alpha Prime, fantastic. So I need to message him. I know exactly who he is. He speaks to me every day. He's on Instagram. His artwork is sensational, guys. If you've got Instagram, check out Alpha Prime's artwork. It is beautiful. And I will be messaging him and telling him, congratulations, it is time for the wheel. And if you guys want your name in that as well as everybody else's next week, then all you've got to do is just sign up to channel membership. And I believe it says join right next to where it says Toys R Us. So if you want to join, it's only 6p a day, $1.99 a month. And then that gets you in the draw to win a deluxe figure of your choice next month. So there you go. Bit of self-promotion there, I know. Apologies. No, I was staying quite close to it, but it was still just the fact that Big Convoy took up most of the night because there was so much going on with him, and I wanted to try and do him some justice. This is what I was trying to say about half an hour ago. Somebody's reminded me back to this. That yeah, I don't get along with, because I wasn't allowed to do it. Simple as there you go. Yeah, that was because I have such short amount of times with them. That's it. That I want to try and get the best parts across about them. What job is required to be able to collect Transformers because they're expensive at the same time as content creation. Sound wave lamppost. I got to confess, and I admitted this loads of times, so that's a good question, all Spark Reviews. So when I first started, my channel was basically all on my older figures that I'd owned not since I was a kid, but they were around when I was a kid. So I started I'm 47 in March, so I started buying Transformers as an adult in my early 20s. So I'd amassed a huge collection by the time I started my YouTube. I didn't start my YouTube until 2020. So when I started my YouTube, it was on older figures with the odd new ones sprinkled in. And then what I was doing is then I found myself, I was buying more to get more videos done. And then to do that, what I was doing is, if you see any of my older videos, I'm in a different room, and on the whole right hand side of one of the videos, there was a wall of movie figures, an absolute huge just wall of movie figures. I mean, I'm not joking. I think I had nearly all of them sealed. So what I started to do is I started to sell them to fund this, and I started buying more figures and so I could sort of keep up. But if I'm being honest, I'm being dead honest, what that was doing, it meant that I was buying figures that I necessarily wouldn't buy for me, and that's what I realised at the beginning of this year when my room was just so full and I just couldn't move because I just had figures everywhere. And I'm like, why have I got all these figures? I don't even really appreciate them. So that's why I started selling stuff on eBay, because I found myself, again, like you say, trying to keep up. I'm very lucky that I get access to early figures. But like I said, and I don't know if you heard at the beginning, I mean, I can get it down right now. That's my Silver Bolt. I've still not even opened it. So I got access to the figure. I played around with it. I did the combined mode, but I had mine on pre-order. Obviously, mine's been on pre-order for ages. So I still had to buy it. I still had to buy my own figure, and it's still sitting there. But I had this problem with like a load of the Beast Wars and all that sort of stuff, and then I wouldn't even keep them. So I'm like, what am I doing? So it's a good question. I think if you've got a load of figures already, just review the figures that you've got and just stay true to that. I mean, if people want to start sending you stuff, or if you're able to do what I did, which was really lucky because my collection was so big and because I brought a load of stuff that I wasn't really that fussed in, Because collections like MGO and PV, everything big side task with them. It depends on what they do. I mean, Prime versus Prime will easily be making more than enough money to buy every single figure that comes out because his numbers are huge, and so is MGO's. So it could be that it funds itself, and the bigger you get, like you said, MGO's got something going on with Big Bad Toy Store, so I imagine he gets quite a few free. I'm going to next month. Thank you for jumping in, Lazy King. I appreciate you jumping in. I'm curious, how did you get to be partners? Is that something that will continue? They just that's a good question. I'll answer that very quickly in between. Hasbro reach out to people. If they see the biggest thing that I've learned is from people who are even bigger than me, got bigger YouTube channels than me, and I love the fact he keeps going raw. And they've emailed Hasbro and then they've just not got a reply. But the people I know with like a few smaller channels or a few things and they've never said anything, Hasbro reached out. They reached out to me. I was very, very lucky. I would just say, do what you're doing. Night Bricks and Pixel Geeks, I would say just keep doing what you're doing. I think there's a few really obvious things. Maybe I don't know what their rules are. I don't know what their standards are. But I don't swear. I've never swore on any of my live, and of course I swear in real life, but not really. So I don't swear on my videos. I don't curse on my videos, and basically, I suppose that's it. Just if they're going to contact you, you've got to be family friendly. You've got to be something that exactly that. I think it's as silly as it sounds. They just look at people, I think, like that. What's all this? So going back to the person saying who was talking about the buying stuff, yeah. If you've got your own figures already, you get early access to the figures and build a cut. Here we go. How did you get to the point where you go? I've never met Prime versus Prime. I don't think he'd want to meet me, and I wouldn't have anything to say to him anyway. It'd never be one of these things where we're like yelling at each other or whatever. My first interview with Hasbro was 4 years ago, and I think I had 2,500 subs. So it wasn't that big. It wasn't that big at all. It was way, way back. It was ages ago. It was a long time ago anyway. The point where I've got to is, I suppose, just by doing the interviews with them, meeting them in person, and I really like all the plastic issues. The thing is, and there's a few people in this chat now who've met me in real life, and I think the biggest thing is, and I don't want to sound like a big head when I say this, this is just me. I'm just me. I'm just a normal guy. There's no bravado. I do want to add the new Seekers to my collection. To be fair, I don't put on an act or whatever. This is just me. And I think it was Crackles. It was ages ago. Your videos are still fun to watch. So I think just because I get on with them, I think because I'm honest, I think because started cursing in one if this fits, and he still has his collabs with him. And who still collabs with him? If you're thinking about Hasbro, they've never collabed with Prime versus Prime. They have nothing to do with him. He is like blacklisted on everything. When did Onslaught go to the Gift Breaks? It was long that going. Because your old transform vids. No, he's never collabed with Hasbro at all. Never, and he never will. Purely because why would they even entertain the fact of somebody? No, of course they don't. He's public enemy number one because he pays for stolen toys. Why on earth would they? I don't get why on earth would they even partner with him? He's nothing to do with them. He's not at all, in any way, shape or form, had anything ever to do with them. It's clear from hanging with you, and even for a short time you have a good rapport. If it didn't work full time, I'd love to be more involved. Here we go. And if it didn't work full time, I'd love to be more involved with the Power Range, if nothing else. I really don't want to get to my combined mode. It's very good. It's very good. I've seen it. It's very good. What's this? You love helping people. That really comes across to remember that fallen vacant doing like those, but I'm trying to keep up. Sorry guys. Perspective and love his channel. They did a lot of access on sport. I think I do get on well with Evan. I spoke to him a few times. I worked with him last year as well, so we do sort of get on. But you see, Allspark, people don't know. People just think, oh, he's associated with Hasbro because he gets the figures early. No, he's not at all. People think that he's he's literally the furthest away from Hasbro that you can possibly think of, to be honest. I've been really, really lucky to be in some roundtable meetings with some people talking about new figures. And the only way that Princeton's in, all I can say politely is he's not liked. The Power Rangers stand was near Bandai. Nice, Russ. Who's your favourite character in general? Scorponok's my favourite character in general. I've seen Swindle. I've seen the figure. I've seen him attached to Bruticus. That's all I'm allowed to say. He looks good. Who's your favourite character? Swindle also has, I can tell you that Swindle has Onslaught's gun. They won't improve Galvatron because Galvatron's still the same for 86. Rodimus, they're going to do another one. You and Evan just seem to click. Yeah, we get on really well, to be fair. It's because you are real and you remember where you come from and humble and easy approach. Look at them faves, mate, when you go. See, that's really nice to hear that. Loads of people. I'm gonna end this conversation regarding him with one brilliant example for you, and this is, I don't want to encourage you to watch any of his videos. In fact, there's 2 examples, but this is the best one. So if you look at his video, which was on Shard, do you remember the green helicopter? What's the word? Remember the green helicopter that came out? One of the Rock Lords, yeah? It was called Shard. She was called Shard, wasn't she? And so basically he'd managed to, yeah, that's just me, buddy. I'm just me. Come and say hello. I encourage people to come and say hello to me. You watch his video. He had that figure. He stole that figure. They already paid for somebody to steal that figure so early on that he didn't even know that that figure was a she. It was a fembot. So when he reviewed that figure and he called that figure a he all the way through it, he called it all the way through. He called him a he because he didn't know that that figure was a she, because he'd paid for it to be nicked so early that he didn't know the bio on the figure. He obviously didn't have the box and he didn't have the instructions and he didn't even know it was a she, but he calls it a he all the way through, even in, you know, in this sort of climate where where you can't misgender anything. That's one of the best examples ever. And if you want any other example, it's really obvious because he's never got the box and he's never got the instructions. Now, sometimes, as somebody's discussed in here, sometimes figures come out very early in Singapore and you can get them that way. But if anybody's got a figure and it hasn't got a box or instructions, then it's either really old because they brought it on the second-hand market, or it's brand new and it's been nicked from a factory. And that's just the only way that it all boils down to it. And the other thing that's really true as well is, let's be honest, so let's just say that sometimes I'm fortunate, like Blockies have sent me something, and the first thing I do is I say at the beginning of the video, this has been sent to me by Blockies. If anybody gets anything sent to them, now the figures that he does get sent are 30 and RoboSen, and he says at the beginning of every single video, thank you to RoboSen, or thank you to 30 for sending me these, because that is written into any contract. If anybody is giving you something for free, then the least that you can do is at the very beginning of that video, say to somebody, say to your audience, say to whoever you are, this has come from so-and-so. You can get it here. Or thank you to so-and-so for sending me this. When I do all my videos on any of the figures that I get really early, the first thing that I say in it is thank you to Hasbro, or thank you to In-Demand Toys, or thank you to whoever has given it to me, because that's what you do. That's how this works. That's how everything works. That's how influencers work, and that's how they get their things given to them. They have to then give it out. But he doesn't, does he? So that proves it straight away. That's the only thing I'm going to discuss on that anymore. I'm going to try and catch up. He did not know how to transform. See, he didn't know how to transform because he didn't have the instructions. You got the weird fans out there. I definitely agree. It's just like the passion. I wonder if you'll ever get off-road. Do you know what? He was asked for a lot. Off-road was asked for a lot. I can see off-road coming as, I love what he's roaring. I want to work out who he is. Who's Rexy? T-Rex, obviously Raw. Off-road was asked for quite a lot, to be honest. And of course, along with Alpha Bravo, and of course, along with Breakneck. Do you know, I've lost my do you know if there will be a Studio Series Devastation Menace, or if yes? Oh, I don't know that, to be honest. That's a great ask. That's a great question, but I do not know the answer. What's been your personal biggest achievement as far as a YouTuber? channel and the connections you made. So there's a few really obvious ones. So the real obvious ones are the fact that Hasbro know me and Hasbro speak to me, and they allow me to work with them and collaborate with them, and they let me take figures home to do reviews. I think that's huge. Pete, that's class. I want to be the life. I want to try the life of a collector. Just honestly, all I can say to you also is exactly what I did. Just start. Is the ratio of 2-way? Is the ratio of 2-way? By the way, man, that's asking. So one thing I'll tell you the truth, they never ask me what I think of a figure that they've made. They never do that. They've never done that at all. We'll talk about older figures. We'll talk about life in general and sort of stuff. They never tell me what to say. They've never once told me what to say. They don't even, like, sometimes, again, a brilliant example, this was last year when I was working with Evan. Yes, we will get the rest of the G2. Do you mean Stunticons? You mean Stunticons? Yes, we will do. So the reveal last year at the MCM was, and this is a God's honest truth, and it was the Studio Series Bumblebee with the one they'd updated, 116. And that was the figure that I got to reveal last year, like Onslaught this year. So I was doing the video on that. I'm going to come back to your question in a second, Shuri, because it's a really good question. And because I was doing the reveal of it, I needed to know stuff about it. So I said directly to Evan, and he misinterpreted. I said, what do you want me to say about it? And he said, you can say whatever you want. And he literally went like that. He went, you can say whatever you want. But I wasn't asking him, like, for him to tell me it was good or whatever. I was like, I need to know what's different. What have you changed about it? And I was really taken aback by the fact that he didn't want to in any way influence what I was about to say. So they never tell me that, and I thought it was really nice. The BB is amazing, a huge upgrade. So that's it. I didn't know Kitori. I didn't know what the difference was. You know, the wing, the fact you can move the doors and everything and all this sort of stuff. And that's basically what I was asking. I was like, right, what do I need to know? What do you want me to say? And he was like, you can say whatever you want. So he wasn't, you know, it was brilliant. He wasn't saying you have to say it's better, you have to say it's an upgrade, I needed to know what was the differences so I could tell people. So I thought that was really nice. When we tend to talk about things, we tend to talk about my Japanese figures. I think I can tell you this. He found my channel because he was looking at my Landcross videos before we even started chatting. So, and I think he'll tell people that, as I say, I'm sure that's no secret. That's nothing amazing. He was, you just have to shoe people in and just be yourself. As I say, I've just always been like this. This is me. If you met me, I believe, no, we're going to get a combiner a year, definitely run amok. We're definitely going to get a combiner a year. I would strongly think, if you were asking me to bet any money on it, I would, and not because they've told me anything, but for the reason I'm going to give you, we're going to get Defensor. That's just my opinion, because if you think about it, Menasor were like, so there's 4 main bots from Scramble City. So for those of you who aren't old like me, in 1986 in G1, we had obviously Superion, Menasor, Bruticus, and Defensor. And now, of course, Menasor's nemesis was Superion, so we got him, or them were the two. Then we got Bruticus, and in the G1, and ever since like that, it's always been Defensor against Bruticus. We definitely need a Computron. He was asked for so many times in San Diego. Back to this. But no, someone was commenting on, obviously, did not answer my question. But someone was commenting on an old video of yours, which you did not answer. That you did not answer my question. What's told me to masturbate? Getting Defensor means we can get God City. It does, yes. I used to be able to. What's the one Japanese character you want to see update? Diatlas, proper Diatlas, not that thing where they used an old mold and just redecoed it for Titan's Return. I definitely want a big powered, a proper one. What's the one Japanese character you want to see? I've just said that. I used to answer every single question, but I don't get time to now because it's just too big. Predaking would be amazing, but of course Takara are making Predaking as we speak. Takara have revealed Predaking is the Adams Machina one, the Call of the Primitives, which was good. I know I went to bots here, so Peter, we need scrounge. No, we definitely do, Pete. And sure, we know that's great. And again, you can just attest to everything that we're saying here. You know, I'd never met you from Adam. You just found me on this channel. You chatted to me. You said you were going to be at the NEC. You said you were going to be nervous. I said, come and stand behind my stand, which you did for most of the day. Just and that's what I did. That's just me. And you can attest to that. Pete can attest to that. Sky Gary would be brilliant. So yeah, I think, as I say, I've been really lucky, and like, although Peter was joking when he said meeting Shorey, because I've started this channel, I've met people who are in this chat in real life who I generally call my friends. I've been lucky enough to work with Hasbro, which again is crazy. It's just been a crazy roller coaster ride. I was able to do the opening of the Battersea Power Station. I mean, how ridiculous is that? You know, I always refer to me as little old me. Just little old me, and I'm riding the wave of Transformers, but with you guys at the same time. And that's why I do these live streams, and that's why there's nothing against all the people who do, I'm knocking stuff over, you know, who have formats and all that sort of stuff. I don't have any format. I just rather get it all done. Or just do this, just chat amongst ourselves, because it's easier that way. Skullgrin's going to fall over anyway. There we go. I've got to stand him up. I'm glad my son spoke to Evan. Honestly, Evan's so cool. He'll talk about anything. One thing I was going to ask MTM, but wasn't sure if Evan could comment about third-party figures, touch repair, extension. I wonder what I can tell you what I know on that. I know that they watch them. I know that if they get too close to it, then I'm pretty sure they can. I'm sure they can give a cease and desist. I'm sure now Pete might know more than this than me. Saying those other cassettes, I think we will do eventually. To be honest, is Onslaught with the minority? I mean, no, that's good. It depends on what you say by worth the money. Yes. I'm sorry, I'm just rewinding to that. It depends what you mean by is it worth the money. It's all figures are expensive now. I suppose it's what's relative to you. If you can afford it and you can still afford to put fuel in your car and you can still afford to pay your bills and it's going to bring you joy every time you look at it, then it's worth it. If it's something that's going to leave you completely skint, then no, it's not worth it. Anything about TF Nation? Yeah, I've heard a bit about that, but nothing too concrete on it just yet. You better. Is a 3-pack? No, got 3. What was your favourite, the new figures? Yeah, I think it was Thundercracker was probably my favourite, to be fair, because I just love the Seeker mould and I think it's very clever. So yeah, the ones that's with Star Convoy. Oh, Sky Gary and Grandis, yes. I think we'll get the other cassettes. So I'm catching up on all the questions there. In a way, is it with the money for what you get? It felt big, it felt heavy. The alternate mode was about this big, and that's why I wanted to do the video to show you guys me physically holding it. How big it is. I love the new paint, Fung Boy. I can't believe that people are moaning about it because it's animation accurate, so it's not going to have greeble. It's not going to have where the stickers are on a toy. It's just going to be animation accurate, which I think just works because it's based on the cartoon. You can't please everybody though. People, it's weird what people moan about. It really is. And again, there's a couple of people in the chat who spent a bit of the time on the booth with us over the weekend, and some of the things that people come up and say and moan about is crazy, I suppose. But I just like having the official toys for some reason. No, that's completely fine. I was asking. You love it, Pete. I'm pretty sure that at least I know fans' toys have had skirt the line because they tend to lean into animation accuracy, which is. I'll tell you something that did surprise me though, and this is an absolute fact because I was lucky enough to spend the afternoon with him. I'll tell you someone who hates them and was really, really riled up by them massively. Really, he was really offended by them and didn't like them at all. Same plastic as the final product is cheap, 3D plastic, different quality. It'll be the same plastic. It'll be the same plastic, it's just a different colour. So, you know, the comic artist and the guy who's done some Transformers designs, Marcelo Mater. So when I was with him at TF Nation, they're not lacking paint. They're just animation accurate. That's exactly how they look. That's why it makes me. I'm not saying you, but when people were saying, "Oh, Devastator needs extra decals," no, he doesn't, because in the cartoon he was just green, and that's why he's just green. Anyway, Marcelo Mater, great guy. Next HasLab, how would you say? I'd love it to be, either one of them two, to be fair. I'd love it to be either one of them, to be fair. Definitely would, but I've got no idea. I don't even know when it's going to be revealed. And we were walking through the TF Nation Hall, and one of the stalls had a load of third party on, and he went over there, and I mean, he was scathing. I could not even repeat I can't repeat on this channel what he was saying about them, because like he was just saying exactly that. Just I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the thingy ones. Q wasn't bashed up there, was he, until he was blown up. He just literally, he was like, because I think some of the things that he did, if some of the character designs and stuff, I think are his as well. And he was basically just saying, you know, if anybody like took his IP or took his ideas, he was fuming. He hated them. HasLab already fixed Optimus shipping. I think they fixed them all, as far as I'm aware, Ken. I believe that they were sending them all out. I still need to have a play with mine, because mine's here. I did the unboxing video on it, and I need to have a play around with it. I think I got away with it. Or is that the original? No, this is the new one. Does it just slide up and down? I can't remember. How does this figure work? I'm really paranoid about it. Yeah, the replacements have been around for ages. I've just knocked that off. Ken, people were getting there. I know that, yeah, it does see. Mine just slides up and down, so I'm quite lucky that it's okay. Phew, that's mine. I've got no issues with mine. I've just knocked the light off them. So with regards to that question, I'm sure they watch it. I'm sure they keep an eye out what's going on. And I'm sure if they get, as Pete's just said, Peter, by the way, he's called You Know You Love It on here. If they get too close to the line, then they do jump in and do and say some things. Because I know that a few companies, I'm pretty sure, and again, correct me if I'm wrong here, if anybody knows, does anybody remember the world's smallest Transformers? There was another guy who started making loads of them, and they gave him a cease and desist and stopped him completely. Right, here we go. What's your favourite line of Transformers? It's G1, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I have to admit it, but it is. Feral humans, I believe dualities. I've got the A-block routine, it's great levels of the Magic Square one. What was everyone's favourite spot at TF Nation? Was Blocky section. Just It Toys. There you go. Yeah, they were definitely. Who was scathing? The third? Marcelo Mater was. Marcelo Mater was really scathing. Hated it. Anything to do with it. He really wanted. He wants Hasbro and everybody else to take a more affirmative stance on it, and try and shut them all down. And he was not liking them at all. Yeah, really hated them, to be fair. Some people do though. Some people, I always used to be, never hate them, just they didn't really interest me. Since I've done this channel, I've obviously made it more interesting. It's not bad to admit. I suppose most people just think, oh, typical, and it is typical, but that's because that's when I grew up. But I didn't mind. You know what? I genuinely liked the Siege cartoon. I did. That's crazy. They help breed innovation in their line. I can't think. I think it's the fact that it's their ideas, isn't it? I know it's the third party tend to make their own mold. There's so many fine lines as well. I liked it on Series 4 Rebirth. I was fine. Some people like third party because it's cheap. So, and let's be honest, most third party nowadays is not cheaper. It's crazy. And then you've got fourth party, which is just a KO. You've then got oversized stuff like the Bayway stuff. It's really weird because I tell you what's funny, actually. I only just realised the other day. I went onto my YouTube and I looked at copyright, to be fair, and I had a look, and I looked at how many people had nicked my videos, and what 2 people had took the 100% of my video. It said, because it tells you how much of your video they've used. And somebody took 100% of my video and just reposted it as theirs. And I was a bit like, hey, what are you doing? So I put in a copyright thing straight away. Whereas a couple of other people had just pinched 10 seconds or whatever. But then there are a few other people who had actually previously messaged me and said, can I use this? Can I use that? And I was like, yeah, no problem. So I suppose it's a weird feeling. I mean, for me, it's just, again, I'm just little old me and I just laugh that I'm a YouTube channel. But if I'd invented a whole figure and a whole toy and I'd spent 2 years designing it, sitting behind a desk, building it, getting it to work, making it was okay, and then 2 months later somebody's brought it out to just cheaper, I'd be proper mad, to be honest. Let's be honest. I'm not buying it. It's gonna better. It could be that, Kitori. I mean, again, I suppose all of our, what's it called, as we get older, our disposable income, it depends, actually, depends what you do, but most people's disposable income tends to change. And also, I think doing what I just said, recycling collections helps a lot as well. It's not for the G1, only the transformation. You're totally true, Graham. I love G1 purely because it's simplistic. I say this all the time, but it's totally true. Um, you know, you can play. You can transform a G1 figure in less than a minute. With some of the new ones, you know, especially the movie figures, it's the Omega Prime HasLab. I was just checking it. Who's been your favourite of the four? That's a good question. I would have to say. Ooh, I knew it. I'll come to that question in a minute. I'd probably Brawl again, just Brawl because he's just meaty, he's chunky. Somebody put a comment in the video as well, which is quite unheard. They'd noticed that the whole of the top of the tank was covered. You know, there was no gaps either in any way, so that was really good. I like that. They've only just done a Devastator, or they did the 6-pack. Was it 8-pack? It's an 8-pack in it for Revenge of the Fall, and that was only a couple of years ago maximum. That's why Missing Link is so incredible. That's it, exactly, Shuri. Missing Link are the way forward. If they stopped making everything apart from one toy line, they'd have to keep these. No, man, I don't like the New Age Romulus. Too much. Too much. Let's go this. Would be nice. Someone showed broad stress marks on the knee clip. Yeah, but that's somebody who's acquired a figure illegally and shouldn't have it already. So serves them right for probably getting a figure that's not fully finished. It's the OG what started on, still the best. Yes, definitely for me. Yeah, Missing Link a genius. Kind of especially for the Command crossover not to be Missing Link. I wish they'd do that. 100% run amok. That would be the best thing ever. Mine was absolutely fine. Mine was okay, but I was honestly I didn't transform it, which you know, obviously. I didn't transform it at all. There was 2 in the case, so I took 2. Romulus for me is all right. It was overrated. It's okay. Someone commented a video where there's screw ball's chest and said it curse of the ankle tilt was true. Is it true? I cannot comment or deny anything on combined modes of Bruticus, unfortunately. Yes. Counterpete. Have you changed your name again, Counterpete? Is that Pete Wood? Have you just changed your name? All of you guys changing your name. I can't keep up with you. I got the gun Robo Decker Romulus Remus. I love it, but I haven't transformed it. Took him straight out of the box. The transformation is very clever. I've seen it, so yes, it's 100% real. I've seen it. It's very real. It's very good. It's beautiful. It wasn't colour. It was just the prototypes, but it's very impressive. Stop confusing us. Because when I do the thing next month, I'll be like, who's this? That's why I don't do third party. Way to do it. Some of them, J.R. Johnson, some of them I can't stand. You'll notice a lot of my videos now, third party. To be fair, I'll be completely honest. Ironhide Fans Toys rocked up today. I looked at it. I looked at the instructions. I thought, can't be bothered with that. Just put him up next to Prime, and that's it. I've sold it already. Can you say is it a skeleton or it's a skeleton? I can say that because everybody's worked that out. Megatron was a huge one for me. I don't mind Robot Mode, but it just didn't even it's a very fun figure to play with. That's fine. That's completely your opinion. And it's quite funny, as I say. I can't show. If I could perhaps maybe show you. Like, I love G1 Megatron. Absolutely love. Can I show you if I spin this around? Let me see. Up at the top here. I've got like 10. I don't know if I can show you. Is that going to show you there? No. I can't show. Let me try and show you this. So like when people say to me, do you like Megatron? I'm like, yes, I love Megatron. Look, there he is. That's just on them ones there. And then if I spin around here and we go to these, there's no light in here because it's dark. I've got all these other different boxed variants. I love G1 Megatron. I've got all of the ones that they've ever released, including Thingy, so dark chrome, normal, and everything. I've got the Goodbye sets. It's dark. I would get some more colour on it. So I've got about 11 versions of G1 Megatron, boxed different, all of them. I absolutely love them. But the fact that, you know, he's never going to be a gun, I'm completely fine with that. Completely fine with that. That messed up, didn't it? No wonder they're so expensive. You have all of them. No, they're all different. I've got they're all different from different. So what I've done is I've hunted down ones from different countries. So I've got a Canadian one, I've got a French one. What are the figures you recommend? I've got Strasbourg one, I got a Hasbro one, I got Japanese ones, I've got, again, all different ones. I've got a test piece up there as well. What's your favourite variants? The Dark Chrome first release. I know it's against the grain, but I might grab a KO Megatron. What's the box behind you? That's Black Zarek. The big one there, that's Black Zarek. But I think is that the one you're asking for? I don't know. There's too many. What's your favorite one? I know. The other way. This one. Is this one? Let me make sure. Is he alive or did GPS claim? He's perfect. I actually took him out of the box and I transformed him. That is, funny enough, that's 86 Galvatron. I've not even took out the box. And I even did a transformation tutorial video of him, me getting him from Scorpion into robot mode because I had to put him in robot mode. And he's actually, this is the God's honest truth as well. See this shelf here? He fell off that shelf down onto there. He fell 18 inches when I was moving rooms and he didn't even break. So I must be really lucky with him. Whereas Sky, not Gary, the Mega Pretender, the one with the gold bottom, I walked past that, caught it with my shoulder, and it crumbled into pieces one day. My geometric transformation one, I had much jealousy as a kid. There was some Megs West of called Megs. I'm still waiting for the latest pre-order. Wow, I can't. Sky Hammer, that's him. Sky Hammer, I walked past him, just grazed him with my shoulder, and he's crumbled. And my bristlebacks are all fine. It's weird. Yeah, honestly, for me, he's my worst GPS. And saying that, though, none of my Predators have a weapon that works. Into reruns that will be happening. No, Amazon, I'll get the rest. Honestly, guys, as I said, they don't tell me anything that they don't tell anybody else. I don't get early access to stuff like that. I miss the Nemesis they did. I think it looks. I think they'll re-release everything that's going. There's going to be a live in December. Why not a big gap? Because for me, the live. I only do them once a month. That's what it is. Like if they get asked for more, I'll do more of them. I could perhaps do them more, but again, I've got a wife. I've got 3 kids. I've got a busy life. I don't mind doing them. Yeah, so that's just it, to be fair. Sometimes I do more, sometimes I do more. If so, how is he? Is he the best of the Monaco boys? I've seen him. He's brilliant. He's fantastic. I'm biased towards Bruticus anyway because he's perfect. I don't actually have. That's the one I'm missing for obvious reasons. I don't have one of him. I know that Paul at Spacebridge had one of him. I thought the laser rod is the worst example of whatever he's called. The one that you've got a decent one of and he just falls apart. Whatever he's called. He's actually called. Is he called Electro or Electro Rod or something? The gold one from G2. I think he's the worst. What I'm told. Do you think I'm sure on the combined consoles have combined team disruption? Electro. See, he was Electro. I can't see us. I mean, I don't know. It depends where you are. Depends where you are in the world. I can't speak for. That's the unfortunate thing. What do you think of 3-0 Comic? Looks amazing. I'll definitely get hold of that to have a nose at. Us in the UK, we're quite lucky. If a Hasbro Pulse sell out, we've always got in-demand toys and vice versa. New core class 1. Where's that gone? Do you think we get reach a core class Shockwave? Maybe. I can see them doing something along the lines purely for that reason. I don't know if it fits. I don't know if it's the right size. It might be too big. I don't know. Pile of gold dust. Anyone else grab Titan Scorpion this week from Amazon? Price dropped to me. Did you see Bruticus in full colour? Prototype. Only prototype. No one's seen him in colour yet. That's awesome to know. Thanks, the Arquus. Yeah, I think what they're basically genuinely doing, and it makes sense to, let's be honest, they're a business. What they do is they look at, well, first and foremost, they look at the questions, like, because it was Mark and it was BMAC who did it 2 years ago. And they put, which figures do you want to see reissued? And then they pretty much appeared. And then I did an interview at the end of the last one. And the top one asked for was 86 Grimlock, 86 Magnus, and a few others. and literally every single one that everybody asked for on that live video, which I again did with Evan over a year ago, all of them came out again this year. I think basically, let's be honest, if you're a business and you go onto eBay and there's somebody selling your figure, like an 86 Grimlock, for example, somebody's saying, you know, they're selling 86 Grimlocks for $120 when they can think, actually, hang on a minute, we've still got the molds, we can make this. We know we've got the molds because they've used that mold 7 times. I've got about 15 of them. You know, they keep using the mold over and over and over again. So if they've got the mold and they can get the production out there, then they will do. No, I don't have one, Pete. I don't have one of him. It's reordered, but it's my first non-transforming Transformers. I think he looks great, Dave. It's 3-0 figures are banging. I've used like their Megatron that I did a review on last month is one of the best one ever. Where is it sold out, Allspark? You need to get on the day it goes, but you just keep it. Which company are you looking at? If you tried In Demand, because they constantly update, they even say we're going to get more in stock. We're going to get more in stock. Controversial discussion: Pat Lee appeared at Asbury China show because he claims to be behind the art on its prime, which got a lot of people angry given what happened in Dreamwave. Oh, I haven't heard anything about that, Fung Boy. I will try and find out and have a nose. Try In Demand Toys. Try In Demand Toys. If not Kapow, if not Star Action, if not Comics and Cocktails. There's loads in the UK. Loads and loads and loads that you can try. I don't know if I told you, but I have recently gone to the if you can do it, then go for it, buddy. Again, if I take my hat off to anybody who's really clever like that. Oh, wicked for the pony. I've seen that might need for Europe, Central Europe. Don't know, unfortunately. I know that In Demand ship worldwide because there's people in this chat who are in America and in Ireland and buy stuff from In Demand, and it's still even cheaper than what it is buying in the US. And I know that for a fact because they've told me. Both of them, the people who brought them and the people from In Demand, have said, Mia Pearson's there. Hello, sir. Nice to have you on here as well. Everybody's coming. Everybody's been and gone, to be fair, but there's still a good amount in there. Don't forget what's happening here on Twitter. Oh, okay. So what's that? I love Hot Wheels colour shifts. Drench. I still haven't opened my 2 Hot Wheels colour changes. They're still there. Yeah, there's a Haslo Pro Pulse Europe in there. Of course there is. Thanks, Fung Boy. Thanks for jumping in. I forgot about that. There's loads. There's too many places to order from. But I think what you need to do, as bad as it sounds, you need to like set alarms for. They'll be back to 6 p.m. now because America's clocks go back this weekend. I love Create My Own Law using the existing. Star Action figures are very good as well. I've done stuff with them. Thanks for jumping in, Ken. Appreciate you jumping in. Who scammed Simon Furman? What's that about? I don't know anything about that. I speak to him quite a lot as well. I need information on that. Somebody drop me some links in either the Discord or in the Instagram so I can catch up on that. TF Robots in Netherlands is great. John Brooks, hard to find. I want one for G1 Brit. No, not at all. G1 Briticus you'll find quite easy, to be fair, because he's been reissued loads of times, so you'll find one of him. Do you prefer the built-in Ultra Magnus or armored Ultra Magnus with the white Optimus? Do you know what? That's a great question. I'm going to come straight back to that, Emmy the Waffle King. Give me 2 seconds. So, for the vintage original, I much prefer they're just clipping the toy into the back just because it reminds me. Just don't mention, just watch Chris McFeely's vids about Dreamwave. Okay. Yeah, I need more context on that. What was I saying? The original one, yeah, I love the fact that you clip it in. But what it does impress me with the new Magnus is the fact that you can collapse it all into one. That's super clever. You see, I don't know. No, he definitely said, this is quoting, it's on a video you can see, he said we will get a Ruination, but he didn't say when. He said we will get a Ruination. But going back to that, I need to go back to Emmy's thing in a minute. Oh, that's what I was answering then. The problem is Run Amok. I mean, I don't know if you know, but the Bruticus mold has been used. I think it's got 8 versions of it since G1. Up until I know there's one I'm missing. I know I've got G1, G2, Battle Gaia. I've got the Desert Camo Ruination. I think it's called the Desert Camo, which was the waffle, which was the Walmart one. And I've got a normal ruination, and then there's a few others. There's loads of them, so you should have no trouble trying to find one at all. Evan Brooks said it'll be in the next few years at Run Amok, but yeah, he definitely said we will get one 100%, but he couldn't give us a date. But that was a good. I don't know if you saw that. A question I asked him was, yeah, I said like, are they capped on how many figures they can produce a year? Because obviously, to me, I don't know about it to you guys, it just seems that they're just shifting loads, so many out. Maybe that's the one, Pete. I know I've got a bag of Bruticus or Bruticai upstairs, and I know that I'm missing one for the entire set. So that's probably the only figure I'm actually after. To be fair, I might have to look which one it is. I'd love to see the character cards back in mainline figures. I don't think they'll ever come back in now because they're all online, aren't they? Everything's online. They do that with loads of things. Big Convoy, good, because I'm more focused on combining, isn't it? Looking. He's a fun figure. It depends. I mean, again, if I wasn't doing the YouTube and if I wasn't trying to review every single figure, then I probably wouldn't. It just didn't interest me. But then the weird thing is, Leo Prime, as I've just said this, and Magmatron didn't interest me one iota. I just brought them because I thought I need to do a review on them. However, when I got Leo Prime, it's one of my favourite figures, and in fact I went back and brought the original because of it. So it's weird. It depends if you actually like it, then go for it. It's a big figure, it's chunky, there's loads of things to do with it. I would like if I was with the 13 prize one star, I guess. Yeah, that would be a good idea, but let's be honest, if that included Star Combat, you're probably talking what? So we're talking a Titan class. We're talking maybe 3 leaders. I don't know. I can't remember. Megatronus, Onyx. Can't think. A load of Voyages and a load of Deluxes. It would be insane. Yeah, it would be loads. So it'd be a good idea, but it would be a load of money. And I'm not too sure. I don't think it'd be that much. I was thinking that there's only 13 Fungi. I can't say. I think it'd be about 500 maybe. Maybe it depends because some of the Deluxes. 4 Deluxes is 100, so yeah, you're probably right. I would be great if they could at least do it all in one sale at once. Sadly, I can't afford the comic because I am far away from the UK and the US. My goal is to visit the post. That's good if you can do that, Allspark. But to be fair, like, people who go to TF Nation, I've met so many people at TF Nation from the Netherlands, from France, from Germany, from Poland, from Lithuania. They all come over for it because, of course, it's at a hotel. So the beautiful thing is, you can cut, and it's right at it's either at the airport or at the train station. It is smack bang in the centre of Birmingham. It is perfect. It is, as in, sorry, not like in the town centre, but in where all of the main, what's the word I'm after, connectivity's there. So the trains and the airports are right by it. Megan has the fridge magnets. I agree. This has been crazy fixed, but not sure why they changed. Yes, I've definitely got one of the Baldiguses. In fact, I'll dig them all out tomorrow. To be fair, I had a similar experience with Leo Prime. Picked it up in a clearance and wasn't overly connected to the figure. It's great, and the new updated version is even better. Like I said, I even went back and got the original because it's so much fun. But the crazy thing about the original one is it's huge. Make sure to try. You might as well because loads of people do it. It makes more sense to have their own colour, and the regular came in grey. There's 2 camos. There's a grey and white camo version. What's great, he's missing his pink fingernails on that figure. Which, the teeny little one. That's how small that figure is. That's that really small figure. I have the Nemesis Leopard. So I didn't get to play around with Swindle. He was just attached to Bruticus. So I didn't get to mess around with him, didn't get to transform him, didn't get to pick him about. There you go, Pete. Thank you very much. Run a mark. I have the Nemesis Leo Prime. The colours really cool. So you tend to pick on this yourself. Scourge is cool character. What's your favourite and least favourite? Ooh, favourite and least favourite repaint. That's good. That's a good question. That's totally stumped me. So one of my favourite repaints, just because it's totally wacky, and it's a figure that isn't even that good. In fact, this is going to cause a lot of people, it's not a Transformer, because it's not a Transformer. It's the the European Thundercracker, which has now been completely taken as Shattered Glass Thundercracker, the Action Master. The deco on that figure is insane. I love the fact that it's now been given its own, you know, figure in its own right. They call it Shattered Glass Thundercracker because it came from the original Action Master, which is literally right in front of me. That's a brilliant colour scheme. That is so, so clever. One of the ones that I don't like, or one of the ones that isn't that good, or I think, why have they done that? Do you know what? Funny, the Slicer repaint for Wheeljack was brilliant as well. I'm just looking at my Action Masters right in front of me thinking they've got some really good ones. Best repaint is Missing Link Sentinel Prime. That's a good one. That's another fantastic one as well. All these silly, really obvious ones, but awful ones. That is such a good question. You've totally stumped me. Slicer's a great shout. Do you know what? Here you go. So, Tonkatron, the yellow Devastator that was an Autobot. I didn't really like that one. I thought that was a waste of time because we already had yellow Constructicons from G2. What we got here? Missing the Sentinel. Slicer's great shout. The paint deck. That's a great shout. That's the one I just picked up. It's brilliant. All being well, yes. Really paints a bit most neon. Yeah. The wheelie repaint for Classics Jazz is a bit weird for me. Oh, yeah, that was the GDO version, wasn't it? That's the GDO version. Just G2 yellow tyres. It's worst figure was G1 Rodimus Prime. I can see why a lot of people hate that figure. It's very basic. Very basic indeed. He's right here, so I pull him down when people say that because I've got to have a look at him and think, you're right, it's not the greatest figure. But I loved this when I was a kid. I loved it. And that was supposed to go up against Galvatron, so it didn't really work, did it? That's a good question. Whoever asked me that, I'd love to know their answers as well. And everybody else, put your answers up. That's a great question. Best repaint, worst repaint. Where's his spoiler? Oh, that's on this one. That's on this one. Because I've got a plastic foot one. And I've got a metal foot one. And I've got two things where it's in vehicle mode. So I haven't got 4 spoilers. I've only got 3. But thanks. Where's his spoiler? Headmaster Mold is so lazy. I hate that. Currently, thoughts on the Halloween collab figs? They were really good. Yeah, that Titan Bayverse is huge. My first TF was Revenge of the Fall. Wow. So, Run Amok, can we ask how old you are then, please? So I'm predicting if that was your first one from Revenge of the Fallen. I'm thinking, what, 20-ish, maybe? Am I wrong? It doesn't make a difference. We all, as I say, it's fun to guess. No, 17. Fantastic. I love that. I love the fact that you're 17 and you're so much into Transformers. And if I had a hat on, I'd be taking it off for you right now, sir. There's another guy who's normally in the chat and I don't know where he is, and his name is actually Bayverse of Madness. He's a very good friend of mine, and it's obviously someone you would get along with so well. So I'm a bit gutted for you he's not in the chat. Earthrise Mirage into GoBots Crash. That's a good one. That's a very good one. Who just put that? Well done, Simon. That's a great one. Can't wait, Missing Trucks. Orange Sentinel Prime Astro Train from Time Return was interesting. That was weird. That was a very weird one. What about the crazy orange Astro Train G1 figure that they did? That was very mental. Do you have the shield? I swear I've seen mirror versions of them, but most sellers have 2 of the same. I will have a look. I've got loads of them, Pete. I've got loads of them, so I'll have a look. Oh, there you go. What do you mean by mirrored version? This one's here for a start. It's great. We're able to connect with the 2 Bayverse ones together in one chat. Why? Are they supposed to be different? Who says they're different? Let me have a look. I'm intrigued now as to what you're on about. They look exactly the same to me. The diagonal stripes. So this is out of a boxed one. So, yeah, they both go the same way. Let me show you I know what you mean now. So, yeah, they both go the same way. You can't make that 8, can you? Yeah, so if I turn that way around, they both go the same way. I'm going to check all of mine now. I'm going to get the ones out of the box. I'm intrigued. Give me two. I'm going to do that now. Are they not? Are they not supposed to? What are they supposed to do? My first Transformers was Optimus and Megatron for Christmas. I was very, very lucky. Yeah, I didn't even know that. I didn't know it was the shield. I go with the X's facing forwards. I've never noticed that, Pete. Run them up, cliche, but it was G1. Yeah, it's got to be. It's very cliche. It's G1 Optimus. But I want to know what Pete's on about now. So, let me see. Most of this one, I swear I've seen a mirrored one, but it may just be a Mandela effect. Let's have a look. You got me opening up my box G1 stuff here now. There's the gun. Where's the bits? Legion class prime and Bumblebee. Oh, it's all in the bubble. This one I'll have to wait. It's all in the bubble. That one I'll have to definitely wait. I'll get the other one in a minute. But I love it you find things like that. Whoa, here we go. It's going to be new, I believe, Graham. I think they've already said that. I'm sure they said he needs an update. And they definitely need a new head sculpt, at least, because he's too old. So in the movie, he's a young one, isn't he? So I'm pretty sure we'll get, what's the word I'm after? We'll get a younger head sculpt anyway. Oh, I've knocked all my figures over there now. I'm going to go through all of them now tomorrow morning when I get up, Pete. I'm not going to do them tonight. It's too late. But I'm going to have a look. So one goes up that way and one comes up that way. MP10, yeah, they got loads of they did Evangelion rather. Can't even say that right. If you could bring back one cancelled fig, what would it be? That's a great question. Funnily enough, and this is one that it's I don't want to be really cliche and say RC because we've got her. Do you have any new insight in the animated series adaptation of the Skybound comic? No, I have no. I can tell you what I can tell you what I can tell you in a minute. Let me just catch up with this. Sadly, to my grandparents' home. No way, Buzzor in Castle Grayskull. When did they say this? I missed this. Spotlight 3-pack. All they've basically said is that it's definitely happening. It's going to be at least 2 years away, so don't expect anything anytime soon. And it's literally it's not even in any process yet. It's just like what we're saying now. That it's going to happen. They don't know which characters they're going to use yet. They don't know what the story is going to be yet. They don't know how many of the universes are going to be pulled together, as in Void Rivals, Scarlet, all of them. I'm hoping it's not all of them at all. I don't even want G.I. Joe in it, which is, I know, controversial, but I don't. So yeah, it's so early that there's literally nothing to discuss. Evan was going to make a bit of a statement regarding it, but because there was literally nothing to make a statement about on the panel, when they did the panel at MCN, because it's literally there's that early in production that there's nothing to know, unfortunately. I didn't want to say the missing link Unicron because that's too obvious. Pete, yeah, I'm with you on that, mate. I'm completely with you on that one. Where are we talking here? What's No, I'm not interested in the tubby Unicron. Here's one, funnily enough, and it's from 2002. Yep, 2002. And it's basically, I don't know if you know this figure, but it's a legit figure. It was cancelled. So when Toys R Us got all the reissues, they got the Autobot cars and they got Optimuses. They called them the Toys R Us Calamity. In the books, the red books, whatever it is you opened up, they really wanted to release a Megatron figure at the same time, funnily enough. But of course, the only way that they were going to be able to do that, I'll come back to this in a minute while I catch up. Series. What does priority on any item from my collection mean in your membership? What does priority on any item from my collection? Oh, because when I sell my figures, as channel members, you've got first dibs on it. So if I put a figure that's on eBay, or if I put it in the private Discord that we've got, then let's just say it's on eBay and you want it, you message me, you say, hello, I know you are, because obviously you've got my direct contact details when you are in my, when you're on my, you're in my Discord, if you're in the membership, you just message me, say you want it, and then we'll work out a price and it's yours. I pull it off eBay straight away, it's yours. So yeah, channel members, it's one of the perks. It's something that you'll get priority of. So let's just, you know, if you saw something and you really wanted it, you could just say, I want that, and then it's yours. Hopefully that sort of explained it. What was I saying then? Yeah, commemorative series. So this Megatron was going to be purple and orange and black. Yeah, the Discord's just for the channel members, all Spark. That's why they've all got circles on the things. So yeah, I can't think what it was called. It was the commemorative Megatron, but even though it was purple, orange, and black, Toys R Us still couldn't accept it, and still didn't have it, and still wouldn't take it. So that's my question. That's my answer to my figure that I would have listed. As soon as you get it, you'll get that's the only thing that I keep separate from YouTube. That's anything that the channel members get, which everybody else doesn't. Megatron. You can Google it. It's crazy. It's orange. It's black. It's purple. It looks insane. It really does look insane. And they offered it to Toys R Us with the rest of the commemorative series, and Toys R Us said no, so it got cancelled. It was never made. I know that Paul Spacebridge has got pictures, detailed pictures of it. That's probably how I know about it, to be fair. It's really good. What are they arguing at? I'll try and message because like me. I think I want the Megatron. No, I don't want that Unicron prototype at all either. It's my kid's crying. No, it's okay. It's all right. Thought I could hear one of them crying. I just realised it's gone past midnight. Oh well. Everybody's still chatting. We might as well go for a bit longer. Normally I cut it off about now, but do you have any preferred repaints, remolds for 86 Megatron? It's got to be G2, because that's a mental colour scheme. It's got to be I'd love to see it in a G2 colour scheme. That's probably about it. I don't think I really don't. Cell shaded's a good one. Yes, sorry, forgot about that. Don't do Super 7 non-transfer ones. Didn't Super 7. Yes, they did do one. Super 7 have done, yeah, they've done one definitely. Do you think there's any way we get Unicron in it? It's just a head, surely somehow needs. It's weird, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that haven't they said that they're going to do one at some point, but they don't know, because the problem that you've got is it's not going to scale, isn't it? It's never going to scale. We discussed this, I think, with yourself, Katori. I'm sure we were discussing it with yourself, that even if it was the height of the Excel building, it still wouldn't be in scale. So I don't know how they would do it. So I don't know. I think they'll do something. Oh, thank you, Fung Boy. You've sent me something. I'm going to have a read of that in a minute. It was HasLab makes it difficult. Yeah, they won't do the HasLab one again. I think they've said, I think, isn't that one of the rules that they can't use the HasLab molds? I'm sure it is. I'm sure that's what they said. They just can't use it. Because it defeats the point of being a HasLab, because people go all in on it with the expectation that it's never going to be used again or never be seen again. So people would be rightly so a bit annoyed, like, oh, hang on a minute, what have you done with this? Why all of a sudden have they released it? A Shatterglass. You know what, funny enough, right in front of me, Shatterglass colours on Megs are amazing, aren't they? They just work. They are used. They had an answer for that. They said, what did they say it was for? That's on a made to order only though. It's made to order. That his tank is made to order. So it's like what's it called? It's not going out on mass retail. You've got to basically put your name down if you're going to have one, and if you're going to have one, then that's it. That's the way it's going to work. It's never going to hit the shelves. It's never going to be mass retail. It's as good as a HasLab, really, isn't it? Would you like to see in 86, and what are the top 3 you would like to see in Age of the Primes? So I think they've already done in 86. I love the Dinobots. They've done the Dinobots. Aha. The only one they haven't done yet in 86, and I don't know what they'd do with it, is Cyclonus. Well, I can't wait to see him in 86, but I think can't be too far off the Kingdom. It'll probably be in between the toy and the Kingdom cell, in between the shade. So Cyclonus, And the top three I'd like to see in Age of the Primes. Somebody nailed it. Somebody said it a bit back. I'd love to see a blue Bacchus. I'm going to be wrapping up in a minute anyhow. One would definitely be a blue Bacchus because I just love that figure. And I can't think. Let me think. I should be able to pick these. I've got some fair. If they're going to Thunderwing, but again, I'm saying pretenders, but I want them to be real pretenders because I'm thinking of figures that, in my opinion, haven't been justified. The Thunderwing Generations is okay, but it's not been justified. Thank you for jumping in, Allspark. I really appreciated it. I'm thinking of figures. I'm looking around now, actually. I'm looking around. Okay, Raiden. It's got to be Raiden. Raiden needs a proper update. Yeah, and the same with you there, Fung Boy. I'm with you on that. The pretenders need a proper pretender. That's why I said Thunderwing, and that's why I said Blue Bacchus. This guy's colour scheme's insane. I love it. Scales for me. We don't need your mesh first. I said Raiden. He's my. Everybody knows I love Raiden. 86 Megatron, 84 Comic Colors, G2 Hero, 86. Wow, there's loads. It's Reverse Convoy. I've got Reverse Convoy. That's a great figure. That's a good colour scheme. But I love the Reverse Convoy figure. You can pick one character to be perfect. You can pick one character to be perfect. Like it can never be done better. It's got to be Scorponok. He's my favourite. Scorponok's my favourite. Always has been as a kid. Love it. Love if you can, yeah, make it like a super mint one. I don't even know. Right then, alternatives including just the head. Maybe it's a playset diorama. Yeah, that's it. Playset head. Leon Legacy Skullgrim, but G1 figure would be great to have. That was this morning, wasn't it? Or yesterday. Right, there's a combination of two Myopes, trains and transformers, and the train bots are cool. I don't know if you saw the video I put up. Everyone was like, stop showing off, because I put up my Raiden collection the other day. That took some time to get all them, I've got to be honest. But yeah, I love Raiden. He's just too good. I'd like to see how they would attack that in deluxe scale in modern day. They've got to be deluxes at least. The Siang figures are fun. The Masterpiece ones are iffy, if I'm being honest. But I've not experienced the Moon Studios ones, which everybody says are fantastic. They do need decent headmasters. You are totally right. Do you have Oil Master? Who is that? I may or may not have, but I don't know. I can't think who it is. The name is ringing a bell, but I can't think. Right. Okay, before we wrap up, lowercase, it looked huge and really well filled out. Why would TFS up for next year's game? Why wouldn't? Tripticon was basically a Zoid. Tripticon was a Zoid. That's a perfect thing. It was a Zoid. Do you think we'll get new Metroplex? Your opinion on Skull? I don't know which one we'll get, but I think maybe Predaking. People have asked. No, Computron. There's loads of people asking for Computron, so maybe him. Do you know upgrade? I don't do upgrade kits. I review them and I think they're amazing in some cases, but I don't actually keep. I don't have the G1 Pepsi Prime. No. Do you think it was basically a Zoid? They just got too expensive, Dave, and I just couldn't be Darren. Sorry, and I just couldn't be bothered. I was just looking at them, thinking, I'm not paying that. And it's got to the point with a few of the things that I genuinely need. Right, guys, we've been going ages, so I am going to wrap it up in the next sort of 3 minutes or so because it's Sunday already. The approach with Carnivac, Bludgeon and Skullgrim, but we need a real pretender, definitely. We do need a real pretender. Do you think we could see some of the characters used to combine a War's Age Prime? Yeah, loads of people asked for them. Loads of people asked for Alpha Bravo. Loads of people asked for Off-Road. That's not his name, is it? It's not Off-Road. What's his name? I can't think. You know what I mean? The truck that took Wild Rider's place. Loads of people have asked for him. Everybody's already guessed that Vortex is going to be Alpha Bravo, so I see that happening definitely. It is Off-Road, then I'm confusing myself. Loads of people asked for him, so I imagine what they would do. I will do, Pete. I'll let you know. What I think that they might do, I don't know. This is just from the musing that I'm getting, is perhaps do a 2-pack as a generation selects. That would be the best idea. That's me. That's me musing, not them, to be fair. Yes, everybody, thank you all for jumping on board. I really appreciate it. Good numbers, good chatting. And if you're new to the channel, if this was your first stream, then I appreciate you jumping on board and just getting involved. As I say, I know it sounds cheesy, I know it sounds cliche. I do these for you. I do these because I think they're fun as well. I do enjoy these. I love chatting. I do these, but I do these so you get the opportunity to do exactly what you've just done. The chat's been fantastic. Everybody's been talking amongst themselves. Yeah, please do jump on. And again, don't forget, channel members, the membership's there, so the Discord's there as well. It's just 6p a day. It's $1.99. If you want to join it, hit that join button. I'll send you the link to the Discord. It was great chatting with you, Emmy the Waffle King. That's such a great name. I love it. It's great. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Everybody's starting to pull out. We've been going 2 hours, 10 minutes. It's very late. You never know if it keeps growing as much as this. What? Okay, do you know what the date of the convention were? Somebody put it in earlier. It's something in Brazil. Is it the 7th and the 9th, 7th to the 9th of December? I'm sure it's the 7th to the 9th of December. But you'll hear soon anyhow. I imagine they'll make a big song and dance about it because everybody wants to see Bruticus. But yeah, maybe I'll start doing more of these. Who knows? Let me know in the comments to this video if you want me to start doing more of these, because they are fun and I might have to. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Time Traveling Toy Collector. Thank you everybody for jumping on board. Appreciate it. Take care. Thanks, Graham. Catch up with you soon.